Welcome, welcome, crew, guys, gals, ghouls, anyone else out there beyond the omniverse tonight that is listening to us. Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a Rocky Mountain high, get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners, and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. It is Saturday, December 2nd, Sunday, December 3rd for those of you across the pond and beyond. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, and welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and we are broadcasting live from the Mile High Clubhouse tonight. So grateful you could join us. Hope you had an awesome week and a wonderful beginning to your weekend so far. If you're listening to us live right now, you may be listening to us on KPNL Radio, which you can find on KPNL at kpnl-db.com. You may also find us on eTalk Radio, which you can find at etalk.tv/radio. Also on Spreaker under We Are Paradox Media. So if you like to watch the video as well as listen, make sure you look us up under Facebook, under We Are Paradox Media, as well as YouTube. If you don't mind, please subscribe, like any video that you've watched or listened to, and leave us any comments, whether good or bad, or some future guests that you'd like us to have on. We're also live on Twitch under We Are Paradox Media 101, I believe it is. Well, it says We Are Paradox Media. I don't know. There's one out there that's We Are Paradox Media 101, but we're all over the place. So wherever you listen to your podcasts, look us up and we should be there. And subscribe to any of those places. So tonight I have a treat for all my guys and gals out there. Tonight we will be talking to and getting to know Mr. Brandon Vegas. And he is a CE5 Special Intelligence for Close Encounters and has made contact with non-human biological entities from the Orion constellation in Pearl City at the Highlands Hawaii Twin Towers. Brandon is an empath sensitive within the Autistic Asperger spectrum. He's highly gifted and has had many paranormal experiences. Brandon, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Not a problem. Not a problem. So
Nice.
My Hawaiian name is Kovena Kukamakani Kalani Ohonoa, which means I am the watchers of the heavens and the earth, and I stand firmly, deeply rooted to truth and righteousness. Are we there? Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Who was that gave you that name?
One of my teachers in college. It means to stand. The whole name is when shit happens, are you gonna handle it or are you gonna not handle it? That's kind of what my name is. Mine is about to rise above the occasion and stand my ground as a man, as a Hawaiian, as a citizen of this planet. So when I was younger, my mom gave me up to a hospital called Leahi, where it was a military hospital. I used to be able to move things, as my mom would say. This is early, like maybe almost 80s now. I was locked up for 4 years in a program where government programs such as MK Ultra and the Montauk Project. So I was in the MK Ultra project and 1986. So during 1986, Ronald Reagan I do believe was president, if I'm not mistaken. I used to draw ships when I wasn't doing MK Ultra stuff. I used to draw ships above the firmament, not knowing why I was drawing them. But then I found to realize that we had our own Space Force back in 1986. Project Star Wars. Under Ronald Reagan's administration, Project Star Wars, Solar Warden was made. It consists of 9 ships and 4 scout ships, but that was back then, so I'm sure there's a lot more now. But when Trump said Space Force, I was a little taken back because they really had it. So for 37 years, we've been traveling different star systems with the humans of planet Earth. clueless to what's going on. I happen to be C5 Special Intelligence now, but let's go back a little bit. So, as in this program, they taught us things. They taught us how to open up timelines, how to spy on different factors such as Russia, China. This is back in the day. So I mean, I was too young, didn't realize what the hell I was even doing. So when it got to 4 years of being in working for the government, not knowing I was even working for the government, um, I've seen a lot of things. I've seen what could have maybe. So MK Ultra and Montauk, they strap you into a UFO simulator and you open up timelines. Because of the younger that you are more subject to not having any kind of uh responsibilities, or you're not doing anything that there's a stamp on you. So your imagination is sky's the limits. So a lot of people tend to see things at that age, from 11 to 15 range. I mean, for me, I saw so much things in Hawaii. I just never put energy into it. You know, just kind of like, oh, there's it goes. But a lot of people would get freaked out by the gift that I had. So I kind of kept to myself. A lot of people could call me retard, you know, like freak or whatever. So I never really hung out with people. I just hung out by myself. I found pets are more interesting to be around than humans. Humans, I don't really, I don't know, my vibration does not quite match a lot of humans that I know. Let's put it that way. Um, at 15, I was out of the program. I thought I could go back home. My mom was acute bipolar, so my mom was very vicious. I was basically on the streets from the age of 15. So from 15 all the way, you know, I survived the 80s, the 90s, and then the 2000s. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of shit and I've done a lot of things, but I've always had that gift of seeing things in the corner of my eyes, whether it be in a hiking trail or any ancient area in Hawaii. I would capture things on my phone. Just I thought my phone was haunted for a minute. You know, like, oh, I need to get a new phone. So I joke a lot, but all seriousness, I started seeing. I started in 2017. I started seeing actual UFO crafts, not knowing that that's what they were at the time. I was not really fully immersed into the UFO phenomenon. You know what I mean? I had a feeling that they were real. Just I don't know. I had a hunch. So me, I was a master Star Wars Lego builder. So I build nothing but spaceships. Me being autistic, I love watching UFO shows. I told you, I just had this notion that they were real. So underneath all of this, I have very, very expensive laser equipment that I use to. So after I started seeing the Tic Tac, the Go Fast, and the gimbal all over the CNN news, I was like, ooh, what if I set up an experiment with my lasers and aim it at different star systems? Maybe I might get a hit. Maybe I might see something. It could be anything. I could be a satellite, the space station, or a damn UFO. But I took my chances. I said, okay, we're gonna do this. So I deployed my lasers to Sirius B, to the Big Dipper, the Small Dipper, and then eventually to the Orion constellation. It wasn't too long before I started getting hits. I started seeing orange orbs, like high altitude. So before you yell UFO, you gotta kind of You have to like eliminate some things. Is that a drone? Is that a U? Well, I can't even say that word. Is it a drone? Is it a high altitude drone? Is it a F-35, a F-22, a glider, a helicopter, or just a drone? None of those matched whatever that was. So, but I still wasn't seeing UFO. So the next couple nights, I went downstairs about 6:45. No, about 7:30 is when they would show up just above the horizon, and they were interesting looking. Look like fractal prism diamonds in the sky. Look like stars, but if you have a frequency that you have, and that thing is starting to interact with you for some reason. It's like, okay, what the hell is that? So eventually it started coming closer and closer, and finally it's like there's no no matter what anybody tells you, that's a freaking UFO. So whatever their intentions was, I was kind of fight or flight mode. You know what I mean? You're gonna run or you're gonna stand your grounds like a Hawaiian, like a human, like a man. And I stood my grounds. I didn't know what to do, but just waving them. I called them with the laser, so at least I might so figure out something. So one of my neighbors was crossing the street from Guitar Center. So I live right across of Guitar Center in the shopping center called Pro City Highland, and you got Sam's Club. And a lot of people that are take smoke breaks saw me interact with this thing, so they called the police. Police came. The police lost their mind when they saw it. I mean, I never saw grown ass men cave like that. I mean, to see the looks on their face was priceless. I had to basically wake them up and tell them what we need to do. That was embarrassing because you would think that these people of their stature would know what to do. Absolutely not. That's not how this story's gonna go. So I basically one left because he said it's against his religion and his beliefs. So I honored that he left. So we had to call the FBI. The FBI came. Even they were like, "Whoa," you know what I mean? Like a lot of people have never seen this before in Hawaii. So it's like, how am I thinking that they're going to respond? You know what I mean? There was a lot of people that were freaked out. It's never happened in the history of Hawaii. No one's ever done this. I'd be the first. So I had some stipulations. I had to sign a paper saying I wouldn't go to the news or I wouldn't go to the press. I seen some shit. Once you see what I've seen, there's no you went down that rabbit hole with Alice already. There's no coming back. There's no one can tell me that these things don't exist. They were 550 feet above our heads. Okay, any closer I could throw a rock. I've got the most immaculate pictures on Facebook. A lot of people still say Photoshop, CGI. I'm like, I live in a 41st floor of high rise. How am I going to say I happen to be handicapped? Can you show me the format to do CGI? I would love to. That would be cool to learn. But no, a lot of the military that came onto the property were jealous, if you will, because I'm not military, I'm non-trained, none of that. How come didn't happen to them? You know, they're more qualified and trained. And yeah, I spoke with NASA. A lot of these cops called a lot of people like, I spoke with NASA. I spoke with the Space Force, and Space Force was very rude. So was NASA. Instead of treating us like how we talk to in Hawaii, aloha, my brother, how you doing? And it was like, what the fuck did you do? Like automatically, I did something wrong, which I did. I used the laser. My bad. I'm sorry, but I used the laser because I was curious. You know what I mean? I was into astronomy. Was the planets were aligning? One thing led to another. Oops! I happened to see what maybe I shouldn't have seen. But I run an honest program. It is what it is. So I had to learn how to communicate while the military was standing 45 feet behind me. No one wanted to touch this one. No, 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 no. So let me show you what I used. I use this. I have very expensive C5 gear. This is what I use. It's a regular, just the most hype, the most expensive laser that you can get on Amazon. It's very, very. Do not aim this in your face when you smoke weed. Price. Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah. Don't do it. So I use this flashlight right here. So I asked questions to my newfound friends above. So I used ultraviolet. So I used red for no, green for yes, blue. I'm going to ask you questions. I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. The military wouldn't help me, so I had to do what I had to do. Took about 8 days. Where are you here to help us? Yes, green. Are you evil? Green, red. Yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit. But a lot of the questions were are you here to help humanity? Because we're in a bad situation where we really, really need help. And they're like, yes, they're assigned to our quadrant. They're called the Galactic Federation. It took me a while to gain their trust, vice versa. I mean, imagine UFOs coming up to your 41st floor window being chased by the military. F-22 Raptors got scrambled from Pearl Harbor. If everybody knows that Pearl Harbor, when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor in 1947, December 7th. So Pearl Harbor has, after that happened, they pretty much upped their game. So our island is very much military. You know what I mean? Like if something comes in our airspace, they'll know about it. But apparently not. Apparently these things are way more advanced than we thought. It wasn't picked up on FAA. And that was like, whoa, cool technology. You know what I mean? I'm always into tech. So I was like, so the deal was this. I met with them. Uh, a girl named Cyrillus met me. She had almond shaped eyes, very big. She had blonde hair. She looked a lot like us, but her eyes were different. Her personality and who she is and everything spelled human. She's been observing our planet for some time, so she picked up a few habits such as she like burn. She talks like a human. She can use her eyes to communicate. And her ship, do you remember the game Simon Says? Her ship was like
Ship
Simon
was like
Says.
Simon said.
So it has
Yeah.
like blue, red, yellow, green on the top of the ship, like a crystal. But the ship was almost, you could see your reflection on the ship. It was like almost obsidian, almost like meteorite kind of material, like a metal material that I've never. I know Bob Lazar talks about 115 element 115, but this was something I've was really cool to see. You know what I mean? I was even allowed to take a ride. So people want to complain about it's flat, it's round, it's no, it's in between, you folks. It's not. A lot of people think that. I tell you, history lied to us, you guys. You got to understand that history is not what. It's just not, bro. We're adults now. We're not
We're
little
adults
children.
now. We're not little children.
So
Yeah,
imagine the
generally
rainbow.
the
So
winners write
imagine the
history,
rainbow.
and so it's not always correct.
Yeah. So the rainbow curves, right? It it. There's a reason that the rainbow curves. The firmament is above us, where we can't say talk about Project Looking Glass. I told you. I mean, so now I'm CE5. So I was approached by people called the Men in Black. About 4 or 5 months ago, I was approached by people that don't exist. I've got top secret files and documents of things that the military and the government's been hiding for what 80 years or if not more. Like I know how. I'm gonna break it down for you guys. All these UFOs that you guys saw on television is bullshit. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's a disinformation campaign. We have extraterrestrials from the Galactic Federation. They signed a treaty with the military in 2017 at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and then again at Edwards Air Force Base, in exchange for technology, knowledge, and you know what I mean. Like there's some factors that we as humans don't know. I mean, they've been working for us for some time. You think that we're gonna be reverse engineering stuff on the technology that we have? We have some tech. I will tell you that much. The government thinks that we can't handle this, and that's the part that pisses me off. I'm all about for the people. You know what I mean? I was once just a regular Joe Schmo without even having any visitations. I thought that we're adults, and I mean we're not children. I don't know why we wouldn't be able to have. You're gonna have your three factors. Your religious nuts, right? You're gonna have the doomsday preppers, and you're gonna have the people that are what's out there. You're gonna get shot by that kind of people, but they don't want to know because political dogma. First off, NASA. If you switch the letters around, it spells Satan. A lot of people just need to understand what to look for. Like if you, where no matter where you go, you see Freemason symbols, Illuminati symbols, but some people that are not really even paying attention is right in front of you. They talk about it. They talk about us having draconian shape-shifting reptilians that are supposedly infiltrated our government long time ago. You know what I mean? We're not in charge, folks. I'm sorry to say, but they are. They are with the Rothschilds, they're with the Rockefellers, they're with the elite, Oprah Winfrey and all these people. A lot of people that are entertainers and whatnot get subject into this shit at a very early age. You know what I mean? Illuminati drinks human blood from children. A lot of children are missing from Maui. Man, I do the how I work. I do patterns and numbers. 11 to 15. These kids that were taken from Maui were 11 to 15. You, you just follow you just gotta follow the scent. You know what I mean? A lot of people are allowed to see things, feel things. There's a lot of people that are very gifted. That'll be me. The Galactic Federation came here looking for people that are highly gifted and highly sensitive. Not just me. There's a lot of people. We're called starseeds. So, where do I begin? So the deal was with each other was I get to take pictures and videos of as much as I want, and they'll stop and pose for me in exchange to learn from me. For whatever reason, I'm not going to question. I'm just not going to question this. So that was the deal. I them trust me. No, I was visited by 6 different entities. One is called the Draconians. One is called the Orions, or the star system where they come from. The other is called, I call it others. They're like interdimensional transmedium beams of light. They look like rainbow people, if you. I call them the indigo children. Then you have the Andromedans. The Andromedans, their ships were more anime, very, very bright, a lot of light. So it's like, look at me, here I am. You know, kind of stick out like a sore thumb. The ones I really like talking about, but I run on this program. They're called the Watchers. A lot of them are fallen angels. I'm not gonna lie. I had one in my when I had COVID.
And what are they called again? I'm sorry, you were kind of breaking up.
They're called the Watchers. They're in the Bible. They're the fallen angels. And what they told me was hard to swallow. They're here to punish.
Oh man, we just lost him. Let me message him really quick. Brandon, we lost you. Also, I wonder if he's plugged in. All right, there he is.
I should have warned you. I should have warned you. Every time I do podcast, they shut me down. Because they know that I'm so close. I could throw a rocket. There's a lot of people.
Right.
There's a lot of people that pretend on Facebook, but I'll say people. I'm an ambassador of the Federation. Show me your credentials. We'll have a meeting. Everybody that's ambassador meet. No one had credentials like me. So a lot of people.
Yeah, so you were talking about the Watchers being fallen angels and stuff.
Yeah.
And also, when me and Chris Garcia get together, there's a couple other people, things will just go crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
we're used to it.
Are 9.5 feet tall. They're big. She was a beautiful, beautiful broad. Like she had sapphire eyes, like very blue eyes, almost blinding blue eyes. Like it shimmered. And when I told her that, she asked me a few things. She said, I'm going to ask you some questions first, and then you're going to ask. I know you have a bunch of questions to ask me. So I had like 5 different extra at night. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I was suffering from stage 1 cancer, and I had COVID, so I was not doing so hot. But they told me in order for me to do what I need to do, I have to stop smoking cigarettes that day. They gave me medication. I've been cancer-free for 5 years. You know what I mean? I don't smoke cigarettes. Looks good that you're smoking one or no, but I got, like I smoke some really good green. That's the only thing I'm allowed to smoke.
Yeah, I like to grow my own because I don't trust what other people in it. So I like
Oh
to
man, you
burn
have
my
no
own
idea.
crops.
Oh man, you have no idea. I have my cousin. My cousins from my island. They're in their 60s. They've been doing it for years. I got the one of the best weed. One hit, you're like done. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll talk to you later. But the Federation consists of different hybrids, very highly gifted. In order to be in a Federation or to join ranks of the Federation, you need to be a hybrid, not a pure. The Galactic Council of Nine are pure. And Solar Warden and the Federation Alliance bumped head with each other, so they know each other very well. We've been under a mind control. We've been under a spell for so long, folks. We don't even know who we are, where we come from. I happen to be activated. Long story short, I got shot when I was 18. I bled out. I died. I was done. I was gone for like 20 minutes. I woke up on a metal slab. You know that blade that opens you up like a Y and stuff? Yeah, I woke up to that. The guy almost dropped the blade in his foot. So freaked out. Boo! He fucking jumped. So to come back from bleed, I lost 7.5 pints of blood. I got shot in the back of my spine, shoulder. So this is where the bullet went. Right here. This is the bullet. You can kind of see it right there. So I got shot with a 38 hollow tip. I was joining the Navy. I just scored a 96 on my ASVAB. I wanted to do something to get off this rock, do something. But you got that bucket of crabs that they want to just, you're at the top, ready to get out of the bucket, and it pull you down. So I got shot on purpose, just so I wouldn't be able to make something out of myself. One of my brother's friends his age. I lost so much blood that they had to carry me. They had to throw me in a tub and then add ice, so I wouldn't go into shock. I lost weight. So when I came to, I was in a hospital that never knew where I was. I didn't even know where I was. I remember I was talking to some lady that was in the MK program that knew me. When she showed me a mirror of me, that's not me. You know what I mean? It was hard to swallow. When I died, somebody reincarnated went into me. I don't know if people can understand that, but shit happens. You know what I mean? The person that I used to be, that's not me no more. So
Did
I've
you,
always been able. Go ahead.
sorry to
Go ahead.
interrupt, but did you have issues with that for a while as far as like
Yeah,
knowing that's
I
not
didn't know
you
who
and
I was. It was bizarre to look in a mirror and see somebody that I did not recognize. You know what I mean? My family was like, my mom came to get me, and my mom got rid of me at 11. You know, so it's like I really didn't like my mom for all of that, but she came to get me, and I didn't recognize her. I said, I have no idea who this lady is. So yeah, I've been able to see things more than when I was. So I always had the gift of seeing things, but it just saw. I still had my memories of who I was, but the person that I'm in the body is not me. I don't know how to explain that, but I know for a fact that at 18 I did die. You know what I mean? The time I heard them say EAT estimation dead on arrival. They're about to put the tag on my toe, DOE, and all of that, and somehow something told me you ain't done yet. Get up, and then that happened to just open my eyes. When I did, I would see things like I've never. I used to see things in the corner of my eyes. Now I'm seeing things like in front of me. Like I woke up in the hospital with this girl in front of my bed telling me that the Watchers are coming. I remember her seeing that, and then as fast as I seen her, she just vanished. So the Watchers, they can be good or they can be bad. I mean, I met one, and when I told them that the mayor and the governor wants them to leave, she showed me her true form. In order to fight the demons and Satan that run this realm, they need this. They need this. I guess their transformation or whatever. I got one picture of that I'll show you later once I get my 4Ds. Look, I'm punished from Facebook for going to the news, giving them my story, like I'm telling you now. And as soon as I was sending pictures, admin of Facebook says I'm not allowed to show pictures to people, and we're gonna ban you for 7 days. First of all, how is admin even able to even do that? They have no
I know, because
no number
like
to call Mark Zuckerberg's headquarters.
no, you can't. It's like, are you sending this through Messenger or are you posting this to a page?
I was sending this from Facebook Messenger to the news. They really wanted somebody's. Yeah, I know. I guess not. But somebody was telling me that somebody from the news saw pictures on Facebook from a friend, and they wanted
Yeah, that's just
to meet with
ridiculous
me.
because that's your own private thing that has nothing to do with them or
I
their
understand
agenda and what's
that.
going on Facebook. Like that is, we're just getting worse and worse. Like even Ireland, who has never been subjugated to, the British realm or whatnot, now they're getting their rights infringed upon. Like it's just getting worse and worse, and
Well,
it's just gonna
we
get
never had rights. It's just an
kinda,
optical
but
illusion.
yeah, the illusion of rights, like thinking we do have rights, but yeah,
The,
it's getting really bad.
the Declaration of Independence has been changed so much times ever since these presidents. Somebody sent me something. It's the 2012 Christmas edition uh economy magazine, and it shows the whole displacement of hell. You got Mick Romney, you got Obama in a boat, you got this was written in 2012. It talk about Hamas attacking Israel. So you have two people on gliders. Do you remember when they had that peaceful protest in Israel where there was a concert and they all hang glidered in and fucking murdered just everyone? How did he? So Simpsons is doing this plus this 2012 magazine that I posted on my page. Actually, I thought it was very very interesting that Hamas was even mentioned in there. You see, and they talk about if Jesus was to speak the word lightning and something from above, the translation spells Barack Obama. How's that shit? Like he's supposed. So they're giving us little hints that he's the Antichrist. I'm just telling you. What I gathered. Just recently.
I always thought it was
freaky.
George Bush Jr. with his strategery and stuff, but when that whole fake 9/11 thing was going on, not saying 9/11 was fake, but the way he's like reading to the kids and they come in and tell him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so surprised." No, you're not. You knew what the fuck was going on this whole time. Like, don't give me that, dude. Like, you're in on this.
9/11 was staged when George Bush's brother was head of security. What they did was they helped the building go down. They set C4 charges on the bottom. All the cameras were knocked off. Every single camera was not on. So you know what I mean. So it was like some shady shit. A lot of people.
Well, you could even see it when it was happening. Boom, 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 like out the sides. It looks different when it's like collapsing on each other, but these are actually going off.
It was like playing Jenga, but like at high speed. Everything was just like that was. I thought it was some movie. When my friend woke me up to watch this on live television, I'm like, "Who's the actors?" My friend looks at me and goes, "Bro, this is live." You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is the honest to God truth, folks. The reason that happened is because they wanted a war. Simple. People have to lose their lives and have something very badly tragic to start a war. War costs money. That's why they did it.
Yeah, and we're our monetary value is no longer gold, and that's a big part of like all the gold disappeared probably to purchase rights or whatnot to different things, but that's why we needed the war, because now our monetary value is not conducive to gold but to oil. That's our new monetary value. And we just got rid of all that thanks to Biden.
Gluttony. In that picture I was telling you about, the 2012, you got gluttony. You got some dude drinking oil from a big pan, and it said the 7 sins: gluttony. One of them was the Madam Chancellor from Britain. They thought that was Pelosi, but no, I looked at her hair. I was like, no, that's the mountain from the kind England. A lot of things. So I have been recently. We've been having F-22 Raptors fly over Hawaii, really, really low, super low, low enough where my neighbors are trying to like, whoa, what's going on, bro? And then when I went outside and opened my door, we have off sprays really low to Honolulu. Then I get a call from the United States Air Force. They know who I am because of I'm the only one that made contact in Hawaii. Why wouldn't they not know me? Mr. Vegas. I'm like, yes. We've been monitoring above your building for about 4 months now. We've been chasing anomalies that are accumulating over your new place. I'm like, really? New news to me, because I mean, how I was treated, the things that happened to me, they took me to a psych ward, tied my hands above my head, and broke my rib cage, punched my eye 9 times until I couldn't see out of my right eye, broke my thumb, dislocated my arm, all to say that I didn't see these things that I was seeing. But my phone was an S21 Ultra. Like, can my phone be on drugs? So the only thing that saved me was two things. My friend was a staff member there I've known for 15 years. So he knows they see ghosts, right? Um, and then the staff members and the people, the woman that ran the hospital, because I was beaten up on her property. Yeah, I got a check for $5,000 the next day. They released me. I opened up my phone and let them see all my videos and my pictures. They were like, the next morning, all of them were like, "Oh, we knew we knew as a child these things exist. We couldn't be the only people in this whole universe." So it's all about making people aware of really what's going on. A lot of people they have low vibration conscious levels that they'll never see one, and I'm kind of sorry for people like that. I mean, you guys missing out. These things that I have. I mean, to have UFOs 550 feet above your head is the most intensest thing that you can ever experience. To learn from them, to communicate with them through telepathy is not for the faint of everyone. If you ain't ready, you can crack and end up in a mental hospital and lose your mind. So people who see these things have a very high frequency and very gifted. They choose people like us because we're not afraid. Number one, we're not afraid. Like when they ask me, how come in my introduction with them, they're like, how come you didn't run? I was like, I'm curious of where this is gonna go. She goes, most people would have run. We like that about you. You stood your grounds. You did everything that you could in these primitive ways to learn how to communicate with us. We could have easily just told you we could just do it this way. But they wanted to see how determined I was. You know what I mean? It was fascinating on their end because they told me that how determined you was. You would talk in sign language from A to Z. You know, all those kind of A, B, C. I did everything. I asked them about the pyramids. They told me it's all harmonic frequencies is what move the pyramids. You can't move something that big. You're out of your mind. You, you got to be like a Dalai Lama or somebody to do that, like Yoda. But
Well, even
they explained to
Ed
me that.
Skolnin, you know, he left school very, very early. He was self-educated, and he figured out the technology. Like that's how he was actually able to build
Yep.
the Coral Castle not once but twice by himself.
Oh crap! I heard about that coral. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're on the same kick. That's absolutely correct. And he did that. I think it was for his wife or something that passed away or something along that line. I remember reading that recently
Yeah, it was
about
for a girl
the
that
Coral Castle.
he was in love with,
There you
and
go. That's it.
yeah,
That's fascinating. Someone tell you something right now. When they told me that they were above my building and they've been congregating for the past 4 months, because we've been hearing F-22 Raptors fly really low. I mean, so low that the building would shake. I didn't put two and together because 3 years is a long time. I was given 3 years to set up something with the military, show them what I got, let them know who they are, what star system they come from. Then I was approached by the Men in Black. You know, a lot of people freak out. Oh, the Men in Black. Now, I'll tell you something. The people who approached me were not human. They gave me documents in a language from a different star system because I'm a major in college. I majored language. I speak Japanese and Hawaiian. So they thought maybe by having that kind of skills, I might know a few things. And they threw some hints. I just didn't really pay attention at the time. So it was like this: the language. I hired one of my friends from Quebec, Canada, and we broke it down. We checked out Hittite, Babylonian, Sumerian. You know what I mean? Having autism, I like to cross my T's and dot my I's. You know what I mean? I went into the college mode. You know what I mean? When I was in school, it's like ping. It's like a light bulb came on. I was a professor with the glasses. So my friend, we came up with this. One day he sent me uh something side by side. It was Japanese and it was the language. And I speak Japanese. So I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I said, send me that symbol, blow it up, and put the symbols next to the language that is from whatever star system. Japanese people come from the Orion constellation because their eyes are different from ours. I told you I work with patterns and numbers. I'm very smart. I put two and two together. I'm like, oh, holy crap. But not even the Japanese people have an author of where they come from. China, Korea does, but Japan does not. So I spoke with somebody that is from Hawaii. He happens to be a private investigator, but he was a pastor in Japan years ago. When I told him that, his whole entire face came white, like because I think you just solved something that we've been trying to figure out the author of where we come from. So I need to contact Lockheed Martin in Japan and let them know that, you know, this is something that I found out. A little gift for Japan because I like the Japanese custom. So when I went back and told the Men in Black that, you know, is this language Zeta Reticuli? And they're like, how the hell did you know that? Because I'm smart. Because I took the time to break it down, look at different languages. It took about 3 days, 5 days. I learned a whole bunch of crap. These UFOs that we all been seeing. I'm sorry, but not to break you guys' bubbles or anything. Like, oh, we've seen UFOs on CNN live. No, it's a disinformation campaign. It's made by Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. These are not extraterrestrial. First of all, when I first seen it, I was like, you got to pay attention to detail. There's hardly any lights. It's all one shape, one mold. How the hell? So that leads me to this. That's why there's extraterrestrials here on planet Earth working with the military, or they wouldn't have stuff like this. They wouldn't even know where to begin. We only have, okay, so okay, for example, when Roswell crashed, we had the technology of that, and we had the technology of we had. It didn't match. So another 10 years, they put it away. 10 years open it up. Now we come to the point where we're close. Not quite there yet, but we're getting closer to the things that they found on Roswell, such as nano wiring, what's that? Fiber optic nano wiring for lights. That's what the UFOs use. You know the chest piece from Iron Man's little arc reactor in his chest? UFOs all have arc reactors. In order for a UFO to do what it does, it needs an arc reactor. It needs to have anti-gravity. So Tesla, he had a lot of things that was taken. Check this out. You know who ended up with Tesla's gear? Trump's uncle. Wait. He found something. He went back in time and he showed the pamphlet. And he was filthy rich. He wasn't rich when he found. So remember the book from Back to the Future, the Almanac book that Biff had? Something like that. I'll tell you something right now. If it wasn't for that, I don't think Trump would be the person that he is today. Trump's uncle owned half of Tesla's shit. I just found that out recently. I was like, oh, and guess what the book was about? Time traveling. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? You can't make shit up like that. You just can't. Oh, when I heard that, I had my
Yes.
hair stood up. I don't got hair. So that was like,
I don't have any more hair. But yeah,
that
it was
was
crazy. Like when he passed, because he had all those trunks of
yes, all those
information and
strong,
layouts and everything. And then by the time they got there, supposedly like there was only like 4 left out of like 80 something or 90 something. I don't know. So I'm pretty sure like not only Trump's relatives but other people had their thing there. But it's just sad because they don't use it. Like a lot of this stuff that he created was used for the betterment of man, like the free electricity and all this other stuff. But they don't want that because they
so
bow down to the almighty dollar.
When it came to Hawaii, they offered 3 things to the state of Hawaii: free clean energy, technology, and med beds. Because a lot of people that are on my island are suffering from COVID, whatever ailments. These med beds can heal you within hours. And just like you never was sick to begin with. Let me tell you something. The government rather us pay for that shit. I'll tell you something. What really bothers me is we're in a simulation. We're in a simulator. This is not real. A lot of people are sleeping under mind control. The Draconians have these devices, right? They're part of the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and whatnot. They've been working with the Illuminati and the government for so many years. A lot of people got sacrificed on when we had the eclipse. A lot of children got sacrificed that night. I know for a fact because I have this gift that they gave me. One of them was they touched my third eye with their finger, and I had a mean headache for 24 hours. Ever since then, I've been able to see things. I want to tell you something that's going to freak you guys out, but I tell you, it's going to be one of a good podcasts for you because you can learn stuff. In Antarctica, I've got top secret pictures of all of that. You have to sign a waiver. If you speak the word of God or anything along the line of the Bible, they'll rip you in half and eat you. They found something they should have never thought out. We want to play God, and that's going to be our downfall, folks. When what's his name? Buzz Aldrin. I call him Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Aldrin went with the SEAL Team 6 to go to this place and check it out. And they found giants in cryostasis chambers. Some of the pods were open, and they were greeted by the Nephilim, if you will. This is for real deal. A lot of my friends that I work with on Facebook are very gifted. They've been telling me whispers of angels being positioned here on planet Earth as we speak, because they know that the Nephilim have awoken. Those are their children. Sorry to say, but God said to the angels, this is what was told to me in my apartment. God said, it's time for us to come back. But in order for us to come back, we need to go back to Earth and fix the fuck we did wrong. That means to punish the wicked and end all wars. That means nuclear capability on both sides. We ain't going to have that shit. Now I speak to you as an ambassador. A lot of things that are happening on planet Earth shouldn't be happening. A lot of these, there's 144,000 ships from the Galactic Federation ready to assist humanity. But in order for that to happen, I need to get some kind of a military package going with the military of my island. Me being ambassador, I can't speak for other people. I can only speak for me. I mean, I'm all about trying something different that we've never done before. World peace. Something that has never happened. We're divided on both sides. A lot of people don't speak like me or don't even give a shit. But I'm gonna tell you something. For me, it means everything to me. The fact that Hawaii was visited, we're a sovereign nation run by kings and queens. King Kamehameha conquered all islands. You know what I'm saying? So we're monarch. We have very old and diverse. The Lemurian culture come from Hawaii. The Atlanteans and the Lemurians fought in the South Pacific. Both of them. So all of these entities that we talk about, they all have the Anunnaki DNA bloodline in them. So the Lemurians, they retreated to underneath the lava tubes of the Big Island where the volcano is. And this is written history now that this happened. So a lot of people are talking about. Okay, remember I was telling you I took a ride above and I said it's not flat, it's not round, it curves because how the rainbow, but in a double rainbow, it only tells you the refracts light from the ceiling. You ever saw the episode of Simpsons where the dome is over us? I'm gonna tell you something right now. It's exactly what it is. We're like a snow globe. You cannot break the firmament. It's called Project Looking Glass. The only one that can break that would be the Angels of the Galactic Federation and Solar Warden. If they really want to, they have the technology to do it. They just don't want to say they do. Government, they like to lie. They like to lie.
Wasn't that Project Fishbowl where they sent nukes up to try to break through the firmament?
There's a midget that wears a helmet like a fishbowl with but he's got fishes inside his tank and he's got a tube in his mouth. They call Project Fishbowl. So a lot of my friends, because they know I work for a C5 and stuff. So a lot of them like to tease about projects. But I know Project Alice, Project Looking Glass, is there's a reason why we can't break to the firmament because it talks about it in the Bible. And I'm not really religious, but I've been paying attention to about the firmament and how he said that he would never ever make the planet Earth flood again. But there's ocean above our sky. That's the part that's like you need to be on acid to understand that shit. He said it will never ever flood the Earth again. But what's above the firmament? So above, shall no, above, so below. How does it say? Shall above, so below. Yeah, that's exactly what that means. That means there's another ocean above us. Remember one episode in Simpsons where they hit the baseball and the thing cracks the firmament and the water just pours in? I'm telling you, the Simpsons, either the Simpsons has somebody that is a time traveler or they have an algorithm machine that predicts this shit. Because this has never happened before. How many episodes of The Simpsons have predicted things? You know any other show that does that?
There's been a ton. There's been a ton, and the writers try to say, "Oh, that was just coincidence or accidental."
Yeah,
but
no.
I'm gonna say about I don't know, maybe 75 to 80% of what they've put out there has happened. There's some that people have looked out like within this past year that hasn't happened, luckily, but yeah, it's pretty freaky.
There's an alien race. This is a little freaky, you guys, but like I told you, it's going to probably be one of your best podcasts for a while. There's an alien race that comes here every equinox of the moon and feeds on humans. A lot of the Galactic Federation ships require souls. Sorry to say it, but like I told you, you're here to punish the wicked and end all wars. That means any wicked person on planet Earth doing things not for the people, by the people. Bye. You guys are doing the wrong things you shouldn't be doing, and you guys are not about. See, here's the thing I'm going to tell you guys. We have baseball teams, football teams, people that are billion rich from Dubai and all this. If everybody chipped in to help this planet, the planet would be in so much not disarray like it is. We're waiting for something for at least for humanity to wake up and raise their vibrational conscious and help the next person out without asking for anything in return. That's doing business. You don't get to ascend with that shit. Sorry, but I learned that. Really early.
Well, and it's sad because, we're lower level. Some people might say mid, but there's people out there that have been out there forever. The Rothschilds and all these other people that their families have controlled the agenda for so long. And I don't know. I think if we just work together in numbers, like we really outnumber them. And right now they're really trying to, take away free speech and all this other stuff and make us feel like we don't have any power. But if we just stop, applying ourselves or going along with the agenda, we really could actually, like you said, change the world instead of being under their thumbs.
Imagine us just not going to work one day. You know what I mean? You just buy what you need for your family and you make sure you get enough gasful Kawila. Kawila means car in Hawaiian. At least you get enough some lubrication in your car for go where you need to go, and you spend a very little bit of. What do you think is going to happen to the economy in 5 months? 3 to 5 months. I'm gonna tell you something right now. The reason why they made COVID was to depopulate the planet Earth. That's the only reason they did that. We have way too much people in just alone China and India. There's so much people that are homeless that have 15 people to one house. You know what I mean? They'll kill just for one of those positions to be able to sleep and have a roof over their head. A lot of people take that. A lot of the rich people take that for granted. You know what I mean? A lot of people are suffering on this planet. Hawaii, I won't. 20 minutes down the road, you get people walking like zombies. There's a new drug going around. Like there's also something installed with the military for a zombie breakout. They literally mentioned this on TikTok. I'm like, what? But hey, we can manifest the what's his name? That tall entity looking freak that's dressed like Men in Black. What was his name?
Oh, I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about that was in the White
Yeah,
House for a while.
That I can tell you something. That's what the hell is a Slender Man? That person that was in the White House that had a pointy nose that looked like from another planet. His ears were off, his nose was off, and his eyes kept on bugging out. There are people at the United States Congressional UFO hearing that are not human. That I picked up on that really quick. I'm like, that dude looks like from Bosk from Empire Strikes Back when Vader sent all of them looking for Juan. So that's exactly what the reptilians look like. Look like Bosk. They live 200 feet underneath our Earth. I know the Vatican. Everybody's born. They have to put their stamp of their hand and their foot. They prick your foot, right, and they get the blood sample of who you are. Then they give all of this to the Vatican because it's our death contract or our soul contract. That is some freaky shit. You know what I mean? I've learned quite a bit.
Yeah, I was hearing about that the other day when I was doing dishes or making no-bake cookies, and they're saying when you die, it's just your contract number or whatever that they put out there. I don't know. It was like a lot of stuff. I'm like, what? Like I'm trying to pay attention to measurements, and you're throwing me off over here, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like when I heard that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? They want kids. A lot of people are born with different type of blood. Like mine's is RH. Don't ask me. I remember I told you I'm not who I used to be. They had to put blood back into me. When I bled out, I lost 7.5. A human carries 9 pints. That's it. That's what you got. So I was like paler than white with my hair stood up. I was basically came back from the dead, but they had to give me a blood transfusion, and the blood that they put in was not normal blood.
So when they did the blood transfusion, like your blood type changed?
Because I came back from the dead, they wanted, because I told you I was an experiment. A lot of us that was in the program, 7 of us in the program, were hyperactive, handicapped, blah, blah, blah. So they used us because we're just like the nobodies, you know what I mean? But when he added his blood into me, it's like I became, I don't know, super soldier, if you will. The MK Ultra is super soldiers. You know what I mean? We used to play games almost like the Hunger Games, if you will, like back then. And we wouldn't to the point where we'd kill people, but we would hurt them bad. You know, if they would try to hurt you, you would have to hurt them, kind of deal, like bust their kneecap, hit them in the head too hard. You know what I mean? We were kids, so I remember lunchtime, we would, after lunch, we would fire handguns and throw knives into freaking dartboards and stuff like that. I could be speaking to you and throw like 3 bullseyes as I'm talking to you. I got something with people with autism. It's like plus the medication that they was giving us. They gave us a shot in our arm when they would have us remote view for them. They'd give us 0s and 1s, and we would sit down with the headphones, and they would say something first to us, and then we'd go to it. I remember drawing like missile silos and bunkers and things of that nature. I thought it was a cool game. Yeah, as a kid, you know what I mean. And I really didn't have much interaction with people in the program. You have everybody's assigned to their own room. The only time we would see each other is
Yeah,
when
and they don't really want you talking. Shh, no talking.
no, right. Like we would eat together, and then a lot of people would swap stories for like different
Hey,
cookie or
they don't want
or
no
pudding.
scuttlebutt.
Right. Well, I learned a lot from being in a program. Like when I watched the movie Black Widow with Scarlett Johansson when she had her spin off of Avengers, kind of like that. That's kind of how my life was. You know what I mean? We fought.
I have to watch
We
that. I
got to learn
haven't.
how. We got to
I
learn
haven't
how. We
watched
got to
that
learn
one
how
yet.
guns, throw ninja stars, I mean, just any kind of weapon that you could think of, like MacGyver, the show MacGyver back in the day. That was me. I used to use keys. Remember one time, these two guys were following me, and I didn't have anything on me, so I put keys in between my two keys in between my fists, and I got them. I got them pretty good, actually. One guy
Yeah, that's a good secret. I used to use that when I'd go to my car at night, you know, being a female by myself, put your keys in your fist, and if somebody fucks with you before you get to your car, you know, just jab their eyeballs out or wherever you can hit them.
So because I was having all this UFO contact, a lot of my military friends gave me an MK18 couple clips. This is a modified AR-15. I got a 9mm. I've got an apocalypse shovel. I got blades, throwing knives. Here's my favorite throwing knife. This bad boy I've had for 4 years. How sharp that is. I've had that for 4 years. I kept it like very close to me for 4 years. I remember being attacked one night, and that's the only thing that I had on me. I caught some guy in like lower leg, and he bled out pretty bad. But in Hawaii, when you're on the streets, you gotta learn how to. You have to grow up really quick. You have to learn how to survive. You have to learn the difference between friend and foe. A lot of people are gonna eat you up and spit you out if you ain't ready. So I grew up really quick in the streets of Honolulu. I'm 51 years old. The best secret is let people live their life. Don't fuck with people. Don't get in.
Yeah, don't be judging. Let people live their life the way they want to. Love your neighbor, and we gotta help each other out because we're in a hard place right now. And if we don't help each other out, there's no hope.
Okay, I'll agree with that. Like the Galactic Federation, they're already here. But the thing is, March 15th, 2024 is contact. Hope you guys noticed that the Octurians and the Palladians are coming. They have some implementations of things that they need to rectify on planet Earth. A lot of
I hate to interrupt because we're at a really big point of information. At this, we do unfortunately have to go to our first music break.
So we're done for tonight.
Nope, we have 2 more hours to go. We just have a little 15-minute break, and then we'll be back. So on this break, we have Gravity from Krakow, Poland with Throw You Away, as well as Take a Walk in My Shoes. Then we have Mr. Jeff Hilliard from Los Angeles, California with Abandon. I love it. I love Jeff Hilliard. I love his sense of humor. Really gets me through sometimes. And then we got Fred Johnson III from Canyon County, California with Sugar. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break. So a little over 15 minutes.
walk down the street, thinking all that you said you need. Well, don't you tell me, baby, how do you feel? As I walk down the street, thinking all the things you said you need. Well, don't you tell me, baby, how do you feel? Don't you take a walk? Well, don't you take a walk in my shoes? Why don't you take a walk before you tell me what to do? Don't you take a walk? Don't you take a walk in my shoes? Why don't you take a walk before you tell me what to do? No, it's easy. You tell me what to do. Have you ever stopped to think all the things that I've been through? No, it's easy. You tell me what to do. Have you ever stopped to think all the things that I've been through? Don't you take a walk? Or don't you take a walk in my shoes? Or don't you, baby, take a walk before you tell me what to do? Or don't you take a walk? Or don't you take a walk in my shoes? Or don't you, baby, take a walk before you tell me what to do?
Waiting here on this cold, lonely night without you. The tension's overbearing. Wondering, are you coming back home again? To inspire fondness with love. Where did our love go wrong? My sugar. our love go wrong, my sugar?
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. That was our music break. Now we're back with our very special Mr. Brandon Vegas to tell us about all his experiences and the things that he's learned while on his first and second time during this lifetime. Who knows how many lifetimes before that he's had, but welcome back, Brandon, and thanks so much for hanging out with us.
So, one thing I've been having a problem with is the military. The military of my island. 3 years ago, this happened. So, it happened in 2020 during COVID. So, already people were freaked out with COVID. To you know what I mean? You know, imagine police officers arriving to your building and asking, acting all tough and asking, "Oh, what are you using? What are you doing using lasers?" And then, so I'm like, hey, I know the rules. I know about helicopters. I know about planes. Because trust me, I like lasers, so I know the rules. So if I hear something, I'm gonna automatically have a button in my pocket. I can turn off the light like that. Okay. So I said, but since you guys are here, I kind of want to ask you guys a few something. I said, yeah, look above you and tell me what you see. They weren't ready for that. They just weren't ready for that. A lot of people were. The youngest guy's like, they do exist, like the M&Ms and Santa Claus. Like, they do exist. He was really, really cool. His attitude was like, oh, I knew there. He was like a kid in a candy store. His eyes was twinkling. And the older cops are like, dude, you can't get caught up in this shit. So I told him, I said, so he goes, you know what, my brother, I'm gonna tell you straight off, Vegas. This is below our pay grade. We have no fucking bro. We have no idea what to do. This has never happened before. FBI, Homeland Security. So like they showed up, we spoke, and then they went about their business. 3 days later, I get a call from the security guard booth, Vegas, front and center. I look out my window. I lived on the 41st floor, so I'm looking out my window. Oh, there's so much people in black suits. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm still gonna get arrested. So I brought my weed pipe down, thinking this human toss the pipe in the bushes, get handcuffed. At least I'll be stoned. And I'll be honest, I was really nervous to go downstairs. I mean, that was a lot of people in black suits. So I went downstairs and my weed pipe. I almost cried. Like I came around the corner. I was like, hello, can I help you? Are you Vegas? I'm like, yeah. I go, am I going to jail? Am I going to jail? And I was a little freaked out. I don't really trust people. That's the reason why. Why? But I told them, they said, no, Vegas. You're not going to get arrested. But
I never wanted to be a part of the military. Totally against war. Totally against everything else going on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. But yeah, due to a circumstance in my life, I joined the military because I felt like that was my only way out. So I joined the Marine Corps. And yes, I didn't trust the government before then, but now I really, really don't, because you learn more about it when you become a part of it. And I know the protocol and all that stuff. And even if they did witness something, they're told to not put it in the report. Don't ever put that stuff in the report, because
that makes sense.
you're going to be a target unless, like you said, if it's part of the Space Force, which existed before even Trump said, I'm going to make this exist. I'm sure they have all these records. Project Bluebeam was a part of that and everything, but it's just insane.
Information campaign. So you know what? Actually, I'm going to tell you something. The reason why they want to do this is they already know that we've made contact with them. SETI. So these are the people that I tried calling. Check this out. Let's go down the list of people I fucked with. Just to fuck with. Because people in the mainland are not, I don't want to be mean and come off like a punk, so I'm going to say a lot of people are just not educated to people from Hawaii. Is that a good way of putting it without roughing anybody's feather? we're from an island. You guys are from a big giant continent. You guys can go from one state to another. Ours is a 4-hour tour like Gilligan's Island, bro. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So
Yeah, and then
it's a
some
little-
people
it's a
freak
little-
out just leaving the mainland. They don't want to go on an island or a ship. Like they get this weird sort of phobia. But yeah, you know, us mainlanders, we're weird. Hey,
Not all.
in my
Not
heritage,
all.
I
I-
did
I met- I
originate
met
from an
some-
island, you know, from Ireland, part of me. But yeah. I admire Hawaii. I want to go there someday. I think it's so beautiful. But
You gotta go to the big Lordy. Okay, look, I'm gonna just talk.
you're breaking up. You're breaking up. Come back to us. No, go back to what you were saying right after I was talking because it'll break.
Bradley Powers was a person that I worked for on Facebook. He ran a lot of Facebook forums and whatnot. He came off like a really cool guy, but people kind of told me, dude, he's not what you think. But I never judged nobody, so I just, you know, they met with me in a Zoom call. They wanted me to be a moderator because of the things. But what happened was a lot of people were coming to me and not him, and so he was like a little, oh, that's how I want to be. I'm the star of the show, not Vegas. So straightforward. The people from Mark Zuckerberg's headquarters had called them and set up a meeting through a Zoom call, and they said they need to get rid of me immediately from their group because I know way too much. There's a lot of that's the difference between people and people who are real, so real that it's spooky. That'd be me. I mean, I have no pleasure in fucking talking shit to people just to talk shit. That's just not my cup of tea. I wasn't born. We're from the 70s. We will talk to that. My mom would get rid of us at 6:30 at night, bro. All the way to freaking 6:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night. There used to be something that would flash on the television for humans, the mothers and fathers. Where are your children? Come in. Where the fuck? I remember listening.
Do you know where the children are?
Right, exactly. So my mom didn't like me because my dad hung out with her and then she was not into it. We're not even really seeing eye to eye. He forced himself on her. I was born. So my mom was out of my older brother and then my younger sister. I caught cracks. I'm tougher than
I can see that, and I've heard stories like that from people that I know. And it's very sad. It's not your fault. You're not the one that did it. And you are a part of her. But I know some people have that to where
you look just like your father. That is a fucking invitation to put your boots on, your shoes on, and run like the wind because you're about to catch honks. And I used to go to school with black guys at 5 years old. I remember, okay, this is the hardest thing I had to do it. You like talk about embarrassed, show your ass, that kind of embarrassment. I remember in high school, my mom at 15, my mom gave me a suitcase and $20, and she had a straight razor. She said, if you pass this line and try to come back home, I'll cut you and throw you in the water. So our water was conjuncted with the ocean. So we would have every now and then we would have hammerheads come swim to where I was. So I was like pleading with my mom, like, what do you mean? Like, I'm 15, I have no job, or you know what I mean? Wet behind the ears still. Like, I just came out of a program for MK Ultra for 4 years. I like live now. I didn't get that privilege, bro. I was on the streets of Honolulu at 15 years old during monsoon season, sleeping underneath cars in a cardboard box, thinking, how the fuck did my life just went from that to this? You know what I mean? But I've done my trials and tribulations, and I've seen ghosts along the way. I went to college 7 years ago, I believe. And I went to Winter Community College, where the area where I went to was known for many Huni and night marchers. These are legends that we were told as kids. The many Hunis were like leprechauns, if you will. They would turn to stone during the day and come out at night. They would build canoes, riverways, fish ponds, you name it. The night marchers were the royal guards of King Kamehameha. They were 7 feet tall, six toes, 6 fingers. Their head looked like a light bulb. That's the best way to describe what they look like. They were extraterrestrial.
Extraterrestrial.
You would see their torches, but what you would actually be seeing is them. Their head of the so they had this type of helmet that had see-through eyes and feathers on the top. And these are like Hawaiians back then were 7 feet tall, not kind of scrawny, big bastards. They'd pick you up by your neck with their bare hands and break your neck. So the Hawaiian martial arts is called lua limo, and that is the art of breaking bones. So the Hawaiians would compete with each other through makahiki. Little history. Captain Cook came from England and arrived on the shores of the Big Island, Kealakekua Bay. And we thought he was some kind of a god because of the boats and how the sails came down, the masts and everything. So that was part of our tradition. We've seen that as considered Lono, Akua, which is like the highest of chiefs of gods. So we treated him like that. Women, food, a feast. And a lot of people were very interested in from they had wigs and powdered face, so they thought they were gods. We didn't know any better. Just like the American Indians, like the African Americans, all our land was taken from under our noses. So evil. So he stayed in long enough for Makahiki was when he came was time of coup, which is of war, and he happens to be a god, right? So we pleased to him. We took care of him. Now it's time for him to leave because Makahiki season, where we compete for each island. We do games. We Ulumaika is a type of like 2 sticks with a rock. You got to throw the rock in between the 2 sticks. And primitive crap, but that's kind of games that we would play. So when I was on campus, we used to play games campus as well. So I would go in the back of this. My teacher would send me underneath the most sacredest area called Papahana, and I would pull ferns from this one cutout in the mountain, not knowing that was considered a heiau, which is very, very, very sacred Hawaiian home that houses the dead, food, provisions, and it was a co-ed heiau that's next to the mountain. Didn't know that that was even happening. So I would come home and my dishes would fly up and hit the ceiling, and my cabinets were opening and closing. So my cats were freaked out. So I told my teachers, like, I'm having a problem. And then she's like, wait, I was saying, she's like doing something, and she stopped dead in her tracks. She looked at me and she goes, where are you pulling these ferns from? And I got it from her. But I had to go back and bring raw fish, bananas, and pork wrapped in a tea leaf. And I had to go back there and tell them "Kalamai'o," which means I'm very sorry. I didn't know any better. Had I knew that, I would have not pulled the ferns from a hill, because I have respect for the tradition of Hawaiian people. That's where I grew up. That's where I'm from. It's my roots. So when I went back there, I was greeted by what you would call manihuni. They look like elements of the forest. They just came out of nowhere. They have no t-shirt, something that covers their front, and it's called a mala. And their eyes are a little different from ours, and they spoke a different language. But when they addressed me, they told me straight up, don't come back here no more. This is your last and final time. You come back here, we're going to take you and your soul. I was like, these people ain't fucking around. So I was like, again, Kalamai'o, Aoli Kapu, which means very forbidden to even be back here. They said, because you came here with an offering such as this, we'll allow you to take one last fern. But you cannot ever show your face here again. You understand me? You're not even Hawaiian. So we're really, on that note, we're going against our traditions and our rules. So because you brought us something, it shows us that you have respect and kindness for us. You didn't know any better, now you know. So don't ever come back here again. These are people that no one's seen within 100 years, and they're telling me never come back here again. So I was like, I hear never, and I've never went back there ever since, ever. You know what I mean? see something like that, we talk about in our history in our classes at Winward, but to actually see one, shivers down my teachers.
You
Shivers down
would.
my teachers. I told
I've seen so many things from the age of kid till today, and it ranges from, well, I always believed in the paranormal because I had experienced ghosts since before I can even remember. I used to play at the foot of a ghost when I was a baby. But throughout my life, I've seen different spirits. I've seen I used to call them kobolds because a friend of mine said that's what they were called, but they look like gremlins, not mogwai, but gremlins. And then I actually met the devil. I didn't see a UFO. I always believed, because my dad and I would sit there and watch Star Trek. My dad really believed in UFOs. I'd never seen or experienced, so I didn't really believe. And then in 2012, when I was pregnant with my son, a UFO followed us, and it was one of those orange orbs you're talking about. And it was about probably 50 to 75 feet in the sky. And it followed my car all the way from the reservation all the way to home. And then I didn't see it again for about 3 or 4 months, and then it was going along my fence. And then throughout the years, I've seen other different ones. This house I live in, like, it came with a ghost, but due to the fact that I'm gifted and my children are gifted, and even my husband, like, more ghosts come in all the time, just like looking for help. And my son was born with 6 fingers on his right hand. He still has those 6 fingers because to me, he's perfect. And I wouldn't change them for the world. And, you know, the doctors were pushing for, you need to get that removed. But to me, he's perfect, and I wouldn't change him. And that's not my decision.
Because that's definitely.
Yeah, and there's so many kids born with it. Like, I thought it was super rare. So many kids are born with it, but they're like, nope, immediately, you need to chop it off because society won't accept it. Guess what? Everybody loves him. He's like one of the best, like, kind-hearted kids. He's very sensitive. People love him. And he gets bullied, but not for his finger. He gets bullied for other stuff, you know?
Is he autistic?
No.
So why is he being bullied then? I do not stand for
because
bullies.
kids just like yeah, me neither. And here in Bayfield, it's really bad. Like, people said bullying has been a problem since like the early 80s or whatever, and the faculty won't do anything about it. 2 of my kids so far have quit school due to it. I have 2 more kids that I'm not going to allow that to happen again. But yeah, kids are just mean. You know, kids are very honest and they can say what they think, but at the same time, kids are really, really mean. And sometimes they don't think about what they say.
You should see the things that they say to me on my Facebook pages and whatnot. They call me a fucking retard, a stupid fuck. I mean, a dumb, just words that are very derogatory to a woman. I don't like saying. It makes me uncomfortable sometimes. You know, I was raised Puerto Rican. My grandmother, you don't disrespect a woman. I don't even care if she's wrong. You're still wrong. You know what I mean?
I have a Puerto Rican sister named Helen, and she's super cool. Mom was super cool. Some of the coolest people I ever met. And why are you going to put them down for that? And when you said, like, you're from Hawaii, but you're not Hawaiian, like, not even a small part of you is Hawaiian. So do you have a military dad and a mom that was Puerto Rican, or?
No. So my mom is the Puerto Rican. My dad was 6'4", blue-green eyes. He was from Missouri. Never met him.
Missouri.
Yeah. So I don't even know. As I got older, I found out that he was he had to register every where he lived and whatnot, because he was one of those people like to touch young girls. And when I heard that, I hate people like that. So do you even know that he is doing something like that at his age? This was years back. I don't even think he's alive anymore. But it made me sick to my stomach thinking that I was raised to fucking hurt fucking people like that. You know what I mean? Don't ever touch a kid in front of me. I will break your fingers and yeah, I have a very, very, because at my age, my mom had male friends that tried doing stupid shit to me, and I've
And that makes me wonder too. If your dad does have that dispensation, was your mom young when he did what he did to her?
I don't know.
Here, I'll join you. Safety meeting.
Absolutely. What flavor do you have?
Mine, I like to call it Tropic Thunder because it's half island tour and half something else. But to me, the combination was Tropic Thunder, not only because that was my favorite movie at the time, but it just made sense. It's like island tour with something else. So it was an indica and a sativa mix. I don't know. It's really good.
I tried to
Been
go
around
off
for
camera.
years.
I tried to go off camera what I was actually doing, but I didn't realize you
Hey.
burned through.
No, I do. I told you I burned through my own crops.
Because what I've been through in living on the island, I was burning at 9 years old. My cousins and stuff would always throw, here, put this under your blanket, and you never seen this, and I was like, ooh. So I had it at my disposal. So at 9 years old, I was burning already. I didn't know how to roll a joint until like as I got really really older. I just couldn't do it, and then I learned.
Before I joined the military, like I had rolled some joints and stuff and finally got good at it. And then I joined the military, so I didn't roll for a while. And then when I came back home, I tried to, and they were always pregnant.
But you just
I'm just gonna use a bowl.
What you do from that when it's pregnant in the middle, you take a piece of paper and put it in the paper and then roll it, and it'll just come out like to how you really want it. That's how, because I couldn't. I did the same thing. I did the same thing. You have to try and you have to get your own technique of how to do it. Like I knew a guy that could do one hand everything. I was like, I can't do that. Like,
that's my brother. And he used to tell my dad, he's like, yo, Dad, I think rolling's in my genes, man. And Dad's like, you're such a dumbass. But no, my mom, she partook of pot. My dad couldn't because it gave him anxiety. So it is in our genes.
For me, because I have autism, it makes me more. Okay, so there's a couple things
kind of focuses you, or
so I channel. Right, so I have two things. It's like a form of remote viewing. When I go to sleep, I call it dreamscape. So when I go to sleep, I download information. I don't know. I tell you, being around extraterrestrials, you just end up developing. Oh, shit. That's the best way to describe it. They touched my middle of my forehead. I've been able to see, you know, the UFOs that they supposedly they say they have. They do have, and it's in the hangar, and it's shaped like Halo's one of the bad guys' shields or something. And all the ships that they have, there's one ship that looks like a Jello mode, and the other one is the one that Bob Lazar worked on. It was called a sports model. But each ship has a distinctive frequency and distinctive signature that the ships give off. Some ships use. So I'm doing it now. So there's some panels that I see on a spacecraft, right? You put your hands on top of that, and on the prints that's on the ship, so you match your fingers, and it powers the ship. So a while back, they confiscated a ship that had these hand things that I'm talking about, and they would link automatically to your brain, kind of like telepathy, if you will, and your mind would power the ships. So, but not all ships are the same. There's some ships that are not like that. Like the Andromedan ships are more anime. It was very like watching Robotech or Transformers, but not in
Stargate. Stargate is like that because I don't really watch it, but my husband like binge watches it, and he just found Stargate Atlantis, so he started that one. And there was a ship like that, and one of the guys that was in there, like something happened to him where he got amnesia, and he was like one of the parts of the ship, and he's like, I don't think you can fly this ship, and the guy's like, don't worry about it, just put your hands in there, and it'll happen because you know how to fly this ship, and it's actually in your DNA.
So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you, for example, these movies tell truth to what's going on planet Earth. Let's get back to textbook. Okay, so the movie V, The Final Battle in the 80s, they came to our planet. They were called the visitors. They said they were here for peace. but they were acquiring all of our resources plus hosting us as food for them. They were reptilians. Do you remember that movie? Okay, the next movie is
Okay, so I don't know if what was it called again? The War of the
Vita-
Worlds. I know they were eating us.
Say that again.
The movie, I believe, War of the Worlds or whatever. John Travolta was like the main alien guy. Maybe I have the name wrong.
Not John
But also in
Travolta.
Twilight
John
Zone.
Travolta. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves.
Okay, so it's a totally different movie because John Travolta was the main. Matrix was Keanu Reeves. And pretty sure he's been in like so many different ones. Japanese ones and stuff.
Space movie where he was extraterrestrial. Remember? And they had a choice where the planet was going to get destroyed. The girl.
And it meant a girl on the ship, and the girl didn't know him, and so she was afraid of him, and she kept trying to run.
I did recently. But here's another movie. They live. Roddy Piper. They wear these black glasses that you would be able to see what the extraterrestrials look like and whatnot.
Yeah, so you could walk around and see like that person's not really human, it's a reptilian, or that one's...
The fight between him and the black guy. No, I'm not gonna put him on. So they beat the shit out of each other in the parking lot. Then he finally put the glasses on. You would see a sign that says Playboy. You put them on, it says obey. Like reproduce, have kids. We were slaves in that movie. But they mentioned the word BlackRock in the movie. I was like, you gotta really listen when you watch that movie.
BlackRock is huge, and it's all over the place, and it's controlling a lot of things.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. The Galactic Federation is war of all that shit. When they come here, there's 144,000 ships in orbit. See, a lot of the government's freaked out and scared because they know that they have a treaty with the government. In 2017, they signed a treaty. But check this out.
No, it's way before that. Remember when I believe it was Eisenhower first signed the treaty.
No, re-revise. How about that? Yeah. So Eisenhower
re-advised treaty.
Eisenhower and Truman. Truman knew more than Eisenhower. So eventually Eisenhower got sandbagged and they gave him false information.
Because wasn't that the same time that guy you were talking about that was really tall that was in the White House was in?
Yeah.
That's the same time they signed the treaty.
Right. Okay. So what the story was that Eisenhower chipped his tooth, so he went AWOL for 7 hours to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base to look at UFOs. Right. So as he looked, the last UFOs had people that greeted him. We called Etherians. So Etherians, Earth, they're from fucking the ice walls. That's exactly they're from Agartha. A lot of people didn't catch on to it back then. We didn't even know what Agartha was, but I told you I do patterns and numbers. It's how I kind of figure things out. So Admiral Byrd back in the day, he was flying over. He saw a woolly mammoth walking in the snow. He got tractor beamed into a or wherever you want to call it, and then people greeted him, and they were concerned about people that like us fucking shit up. That first of all, you know what just was told to me in my sleep, and then I find out it's actually real because I looked it up. That's how I find that if my information is bullshit or a fact check. So they said they made a new bomb that's bigger than Hiroshima and Nagasaki. See, look, you're nodding your head, and I'm kind of freaked out because I heard this in my sleep. So I learned information. I'll give you a good one. Monoatomic gold. One night I was stoned out of my mind. Woke up, ringing very loud. Monoatomic gold. I was like, what the hell is that? So I started looking up. I started doing research. It goes like this. The Anunnaki came here mining for gold. So as humans saw this, they approached them and said, we give you trinkets, we give you gold, we want to worship you. So now we had them mine for the gold, where we sat down and drank iced tea and watched, you know what I mean? The Galactic Federation back then was called the Ashtar Command. So There was a man that was in the White House for 3 years that claimed he was from this particular race as an ambassador, as an asset, whatever you call him. His name was Valentin Thor. Stayed at the White House for 3 years. He had a suit that was impenetrable.
Wasn't it
Electric, electric,
Valiant Thor?
Valentin Thor. Maybe I said the name wrong, but yeah, he stuck around for 3 years and finally said, "Fuck, you guys are just not getting it. Bye," and he went back home. It's simple as that. So the people who hired me, they call themselves Majestic 12, but I was C5 Special Intelligence for Close Encounters long before I met these people. They call themselves the Men in Black. Some of them are extraterrestrials, some of them are human. But because I'm from Hawaii, and I don't dress in suits and stuff like that. I'm not all about dress to impress. These people are all about making a statement. I'm just all about awareness of what's going on, what's really going on in our skies. So I have a couple friends from the Big Island. One, her name is Lisa Thompson. She does podcasts on Facebook. She's very kind of, I'd say, famous. Yeah. She runs MUFON on the Big Island. I showed her all my pictures of my ships, and she was like, "I saw some of this, but I have to say, Vegas, I'm very impressed." That's the closest I've ever seen anybody take. Like, a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle what I do. I was taking pictures every single night. I would greet them with a laser blast in the sky just above the horizon, and they would pop out of the sky. Some ships were 400 feet wide, looked like Star Destroyers from Star Wars. I could see.
Yeah,
That could
like
actually-
I've
that could
taken
actually
pictures
be,
out
yeah.
here in my backyard, and I don't even see the UFOs. I'm looking at the moon, and it's giving off like this electric color on the clouds. So I'm taking
Right.
pictures of that.
Right.
And then as a photographer, when I zoom in, I can see like spacecraft, and it's like I think
Ain't that-
individual
ain't that-
shuttlecrafts, but they're all like kind of tucked into the clouds. And not only that, they're in the same formation. So if they're pointing down, they're pointing down. If they're going this way, they're going this
I'm
way.
gonna tell you something. I saw this guy, this Russian guy that had a piece of glass. When you would put it to your eye, you could see extraterrestrial crafts in the sky. You take it away, just like the movie They Live with the glasses. I'm telling you, a lot of things that I've been seeing lately. I was like, hey, wait a minute. That reminds me of the kind. Another thing I learned, extraterrestrials.
It's not because I need a special glass. It's just because I can't see. A lot of people think I'm giving them dirty looks, but I'm just trying to see who the fuck that is, I'm squinting my face, looking at him, and they think I'm mad.
Are able to sense and feel. It's kind of like a Jedi, if you will. Just be able to sense and see beyond the veil. A lot of people are sleeping, so they have the veil cover their eyes, right? They don't understand. These are the people that laugh at us and call us freaks and whatnot, but they're gonna be the ones that's left. I'm sorry to say, but hey, somebody got to take the fall. You know what I mean, a lot of people that don't believe in this already, they're seeing in their mind, heart, and soul they don't exist. We are the only people. We're it. You know what I mean? That's not. No, we've never been the new kid on the block. We live among. They live among us. And we wouldn't even know. They look just like you and me, or one of your best friends. Could be from just hey, a little different, but I've been your friend.
Maybe I'm the alien. Like you were saying, when I was a kid, I never fit in. I'd share my stories with people, and they'd be like, "Stay away from her. She's the weird girl." Because I was born in Arkansas, but I'm a Colorado girl. But no, like, people treat you like an outcast, and it's like you never belong anywhere, and that's why we make our own spaces. Once you open
your mouth,
and we find our own family.
They think that you're dumb. You're like, oh, this person is not on, a couple cheeseburgers shy of a Happy Meal. But it's just they don't know because they're not educated in this topic. The reason they chose me is because I was a master Lego builder. I watched the shows. I was always fascinated. They would be watching me. I guess they told me they was watching me look at the stars with my lasers and stuff like that. They was watching me, testing me, see how I would respond when I first seen them. Remember I told you I didn't know what they were at first. I had to eliminate it. Now when drone was not, finally came close enough, I'm like, da-da-da, that's a UFO. But see, not everybody gets to do this. The fact that they even allowed me, because they told me we don't usually interact with humans. I'm sorry, but once you notice, you guys see us and look, and then pew, yeah, they can sense that you watching them. They're so highly evolved with their, the whole, like, if we had access to our whole brain, holy shit in a handbag, we'd be able to do things.
Well, I think a big part of it is like the telecommunication, and that's how they communicate. And some of us here on Earth are able to do that. Like I've communicated, I do it all the time. Like I get in my husband's head all the time when he hates it. He's like, get out of my head. But with other things that I encountered, one especially I telecommunicated with because I was frozen or paralyzed. So the only way I could speak with him was telecommunication.
I hate that.
I'm still not sure if that thing was an alien or a demon.
Okay, this is how you know it's a demon. This is out of experience for me. You smell the smell of sulfur, like rotten freaking eggs, like something just so, like a Bigfoot. When they say they smell a Bigfoot, same thing. Sulfur, very, very, just like make your eyes squint. Egg smell. But and if you happen to be getting scratched, that's a second factor. But how you know is a demon is there? They grab you by the spine and try and hurt your spine. That's how you know that there's a demon in your vicinity area, very close to you. I'll give you, for example, my friend just gave me an app because I told him I felt like there's things in my house because my cat's been acting weird lately, and so I had this app where you would you'd be able to see things. You'd be able to see
things. On stuff.
So I turned this thing on. I'm on my bed, like I am right now. I got my weed in my corner, my guns in my corner, all my flashlights and my CE5 tools. And all of a sudden, I turned the thing on and I aim it towards my entrance of my door. There was one right on my bed touching all my freaking gear. All that has batteries and powers. And I jumped back like a little girl. I'm not gonna lie. And when then I looked again, there was another one. Standing right against my door. And they waved at me. I was like, oh shit, that's my galactic buddy. I didn't say ghost, demon, you know what I mean? I didn't get that feeling, but I got the feeling like there was something there. That's why I told my friend, what kind of apps can I get to actually see like what's around me? And let me tell you something. It really, really put spirits are all around you, just like UFOs are all around you. It's like I said, I work with patterns and stuff. When I saw that, and it automatically, I communicated. I'm like, okay, I see you guys. You guys are the Federation watching me, like you guys are supposed to, because I'm an ambassador. Cool, right on. So at least I knew that I was being monitored still. You know what I mean? By them. It was for me. I'm 51. I was 47 when they did this. You know what I mean? You have no idea what I've been through. The military put me through hell. My mom died in 2021 when I was having my visitations. I had to deal with. My mom wasn't the best mom, but she's still your mom regardless. And my uncle told me that she died in his arms. I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to act. You know what I mean? To be honest, like my mom got rid of me at 11. Then again at 15. When I got shot, my mom helped me for a little bit. She started to, I don't know. Maybe it was the fact that I was in that state, bleeding to death kind of thing. Parents, they tend to do weird things sometimes to make up for the things that they're done.
Tell me about it. Because I'm one.
I appreciate the time. I didn't say anything, and so when my mom died, she called my phone from beyond, and it rang and rang and rang. I saw my mom's name. I could see clear as day. I'm looking at the screen. It's my mom. It says "Mom," and I didn't want to answer. On the fourth day that it rang, I finally picked up. I said, "Yes, Mom. What?" She goes, "I want to apologize for everything I've ever done to you." And it was hard to swallow some shit like that. Let me tell you something. Having visitations of UFO, that's one thing, but having your mom atone for the shit that she did evil to you. My mom did so much bad things to me. I just don't even want to bring it up. But she asked
My
me
mom did
for my
too, and I've
forgiveness.
been like on and off angry about it. Like I was ignorant at first, then I realized what happened, and then now I'm just trying to go through the steps to finally forgive her because she should have been the one there to protect me. But instead, she was
Absolutely,
protecting
absolutely.
somebody else. And so I'm very angry about that. And she's
Well,
come to me as a bird a couple times and just looking at me like this. And I'm like, yeah, mom, I see you, but no, I'm not going to be forced to forgive you. Like, this is going to take a little bit of time because I'm upset.
Absolutely.
Because as a mother, how could you? But we're raised differently and we have different upbringings and different souls, I guess. But we all make mistakes because we're human.
Right. This thing that happened to me was really, really bizarre, enlightenment, and just in awe all at one time. So I'm downstairs in my building. My girlfriend's upstairs watching the cats, watching TV. And I was downstairs for 7 hours in tears. I was grabbing my heart because I don't know why. Because my mom died, I'm never gonna see her again or even talk. I didn't even. She was COVID. I hadn't even get a chance to tell her goodbye or anything. Damn fucking rules of COVID. I hate COVID. I tell you something. It was just something that I realized that I really truly hated when we had to go. People were showing their true colors in Walmart, punching each other because they're massive knock above their
Well,
nose.
not only that, but
Or
it's
anything.
turning our worlds upside down. Like my husband and I and all of our kids, we got COVID. He went to the hospital. I was like, ain't no way I'm going to the fucking hospital. I'm going to stay here in my warm spot, drink my protein drinks every day, and try to drink as much water as I can. But luckily, he went in. It was the 50 or 2 years ago and had to get put into a coma, had to get a tracheotomy, like all kinds of stuff. So it was me and three kids trying to take care of three kids. It was scary.
So
Plus,
when
it
I,
makes like those of us. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
continue.
Well, we already have issues like social anxiety and stuff because we never fit in, this and this and that and that. And then you put us in a box and then you expect us to be better when we get out. There's so many problems now because of what they did during COVID. And this whole thing was, I believe, a pandemic. They knew what they were doing.
I like that. I never heard that term before. I write poetry, so like whenever I write, if you see my stuff, I know you do. You look, there's no periods and commas. I'm actually channeling. When I channel, I write poetry. It either comes out chaotic, psychotic, a little erotic, but it doesn't matter. It there's no thought process. I'll just throw on my Facebook and start writing. A lot has to do with them, with the Galactics channeling to me, telling me that, we are here. So the military made it very clear that they're flying F-22 Raptors over my building. They actually contacted me and they told me straight up, we've been watching you for a while. I was like, why? I told them straight up, I haven't done anything. We know, but the fact that your galactic buddies are back. And I told them straight, I thought you guys told me I was crazier than a fucking foxtrot. They're like, we know you're not crazy, bro. We've been chasing these things for 4 months. Hear sonic booms above. Yeah, I said, yeah. A lot of people were wondering what those booms were above Hawaii skies. They're having training exercises with them. Apparently, is what I was told, that they were engaging with them, not in a hostile, just tagging along with them, watching their movements of how they spin their ships, and they were doing the same thing. And so this was told to me by the United States Air Force of my island, that they were kind of being playful with each other, not for the whole entire thing, but just to show themselves that, hey, we're here for Vegas. We're not here to fuck with nobody or to mess with you folks, but we're just showing you what we can do as well. I mean, you think you guys are fast, but you ain't seen fast, bro. Not even close. We could go one direction and hit the other direction in You guys can't do that. You have to turn your plane and go around, and in order to go exactly where you're from.
In space and time and
okay, but we do. Okay, so there's a new group called what was it called? It's 3 little words. It's like Arrow. Okay, so Sean M. Kirkpatrick is the founder of Arrow. They're like the people for UFOs and stuff like that. But there's another group. You ever heard of Dr. Stephen Greer?
yes,
so he doesn't
it's amazing how much he's grown and how much he's aged in such a short time.
Right. I'm gonna tell you
what's going on.
I have no disrespect for the guy. He's been doing this a little bit longer than I have. He was Clinton's advisor back in 2017. That's how I know who this was. I'm like, wait a minute, just put hair on his head and glasses. I'm thinking, dude, that's Clinton's advisor. You know what I mean? So I was thinking, whoa, I remember from 2017. Okay, so I was, the autistic people, we can remember faces pretty good. But something was off. I'm like, oh, he's bald. No, that's what it is. So I kind of put 2 together. But he does C5 a lot. What I do. He said that he came across a couple entities and whatnot. But he showed one picture that's you can see the eyes. You can see kind of like a triangle-looking head. To me, those are like the ant people, like the insectoids or whatever you want to call them. Their heads are a little bit different than your regular
insectoids. Like they got the triangle heads. There's the mantids. There's the ant people.
So he showed up one picture. I have on my phone what you would consider an interdimensional transmedium being. She's holding a blue sword. Okay, let me explain something. So I have 2 expensive lightsabers, very, very expensive, like $800, like 15 different colors. It's not like the newer ones that we have now, but so what? I bought them from Oregon, California. My auntie lives in Oregon, so she bought it for me. I paid her back, and it's like one of my favorite things to play with. So back then, I'd play with them a lot because I didn't have any friends. A lot of people looked at me weird. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck. I was having the time of my life. So they would see this lightsabers things, and my girlfriend lived in the country. I lived in the building that this is happening, and she lived in the country. They would follow me. They would follow our car. The next thing you know, I took a picture of a woman wearing a red cape. Her eyes were very, I don't know, Deadpool looking, red, black. She had wings. She was holding a blue sword down to the ground. I have this picture. I'll show it to you as soon as I'm done with my 4 days. Well, I can even send it to you, and if like I message you like on a comment side, I can send it to you that. She came to show me, look at my sword. This is my sword. Very proud to show me what she had. And it looks like a blue lightsaber, but it's a very medieval looking sword. And she has it, she can see her hands holding it to the ground. That was her way of saying that, I acknowledged that she thought I was some kind of Earth champion. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, no. You know what I mean? But I thought
no, none of that. But
no,
I have to interrupt again.
I told him no. I'm not. These are LED lights.
Not me, coach. I think it's the next guy.
But
I think you have the wrong champion. No, but I was gonna say like
are really
let's wrap it up really quick and then we have to go to break. But yes, I've seen your pictures and I've seen my pictures and I'm like, this is just for real, because if there's any sort of graphic manipulation or anything going on, like generally you'll see it in the buildings around it or whatever, like, and it's one after the other. Like these are pretty intense pictures. I need to share some of my pictures and I'll have video of aircraft too. It's pretty crazy.
You can't Photoshop something like that bright. You just can't. Not every single night. A lot of people are like, you're a master trickster. I'm like, dude, don't give me credit. I can't take credit for something. You know what I mean? No, I'm not a trickster. These things were watching me every single night. The deal is I get to take pictures and video. They get to watch me. That means my 41st floor window, I'll be watching like Ancient Aliens. They'll be right next to my window. I promise my girl was like, your friends are outside your window.
I love
It was
Ancient Aliens and those different, shows. It's just, different things. Everybody's got questions, and they're really delving into it. So it's like, wow, I never knew that.
I didn't
So
ask
it's
for
pretty
this.
cool.
I
We're just
didn't ask for
educating
this.
ourselves.
I never asked for any of this. Seriously. I didn't think in a million years I would ever see one. I've seen more UFOs than most people saw one. You know what I mean? Like you can't tell me that they don't exist. You know what I mean? I've got like more freaking proof than most people on Facebook. A lot of people like, oh, look at my picture. So far up in the sky. How am I supposed to know that's an UFO? It doesn't even, it's so far up in the air. Give me one good reason why that's a UFO. Oh, I said, see, you can't even tell me. Like the ones I have are so close. They would like one night I was like, "Oh, stop! I want to see what color you are underneath." The thing would turn, and I got to see underneath it. It looked like counterclockwise and clockwise movements, like reverse engineering. I don't know. That's the best way to describe it. It was cool. I got to.
No, they do move, and they move weirdly, and it's like, yes, they're in formation, but it's not regular formations, and they're moving, but it's not like regular movements, and it's totally alien. Yes, I do believe that a lot of these spacecraft are not spacecraft; they're actually from other countries, but there is a lot of spacecraft, and it's been going on for over 100 years. And they're just not coming out with all this thinking, surprise, but a lot of us have known forever because we've just been educated that way or gifted that way. We just know without knowing. How do you know? I don't know. I just know. I've said that so many times.
I was sleeping and my brother had that, those hazmat thing, people that snore. So they have that. Well, when you wake up and someone's calling you and you're looking at you, trying to squint to fucking see who's looking at you or who's talking to you. Yeah. So one night I saw that light, right, and I looked out my window, and all of a sudden I saw something hovering on my brother's window, but I thought I was sleeping, so I went back to sleep. Next thing I know, I'm being lifted through my window like a rotisserie chicken. I'm looking at the asphalt. I'm looking at the stars. Looking at the asphalt. And I was like, what in the fuck is happening right now? So I remember being inside it was like one mold ship. And the people were not the color of Avatar, a little bit more purple, if you will. They had crystals in their freaking middle forehead. And I was like, what? I didn't panic. I didn't freak because I thought I was sleeping. I thought I was dreaming. But they told me some stuff, and they told me that we're not gonna freak you out or hurt you or anything. We saw your beacon, my laser. We just want to talk with you. Like, why aren't you afraid? And blah blah blah. And I told him, I said, should I be afraid? I don't feel like afraid. I should be afraid of you folks. And he goes, we are called Octorians. And I was like, your skin is really, really cool. And tilted their head. I must have been in the ship for a good while. But they showed me something, a star chart that no one's ever seen before. It's from it. They call it 31 and a half light years away from here. They call it planet Aurora, where it's in an Alki nebulae, somewhere I guess in a Pegasus or beyond Pegasus galaxy. And they told me that that's their star system where they come from. When Robin Oppenheimer released the atomic bomb, a lot of them heard our cries, or heard the Earth call out for help. Like they're ripping a hole within the fabric of our dimension. So that's
Yes,
why
and
that's
it's
why you keep
very
hearing.
close to us. Like there's a black hole very close to us. We should be afraid right now. But we're too busy worrying about it.
Yes.
But yeah, and it was not too long ago that, like you said, it was ripped in the fabric of our time. Thanks a lot, CERN or whoever the fuck did that.
CERN, 5 more minutes. CERN. You know how I knew CERN was real? is when I would look at cereal boxes and it spells something different. Like the Flintstones was Flynn, not Flint, but Flint would be more because they used Flint to start a fire. But it was a swear was a Flintstone growing up as kids, not Flint. So there's certain things that's called the Mandela effect. That's how I knew. That's how I knew Stern was
Like
trying
Fruit
to.
Loops. It
I
used to
mean,
be
right,
fruit. Now it's
right,
FROOT. What? No, it
right. See,
wasn't.
right. I'm gonna tell you something that I think when CERN opened that up. Just hear me out. When CERN opened that up, I think when they opened up different timeline, I think we all died. Just hear me out real quick. Just the reason why I say what I'm saying is something when they open up this timeline and got rid of our timeline, so we're all like ghosts, if you will. So we've been seeing a lot of UFOs because outside of the looking glass, they're trying to help us and bring us back to our dimension because they know that we can't do it on our own. That's why they talk about the firmament and stuff like that. So I wrote something. I wrote a poem about that. When indeed that I really think that CERN fucked up and we are in some kind of a matrix simulation
I
because
think
of
they did it
them.
repeatedly. So many things have changed, and we don't die. We go to an alternate universe. So it's kind of like playing with a cube. You know, you're playing with this cube and you're moving things around. That's just like what it
Right,
is. And
right.
CERN's just like repeatedly doing it, and so it's like this big kid playing with this cube, and we're changing alternate
Well, in this
universes or people in our life are.
extraterrestrial.
So it could be you, could be your child, could be your husband, could be whatever.
But they're talking about. So now what I'm hearing is, you ever saw the movie Soylent Greens? A lot of us are used as cattle for food. I'm not gonna lie. These are things that I've learned recently through my sleep, through people. A lot of people tell me things here and there, just little small and it seems to be like a piece of the puzzle of that I'm missing of the of what I'm going through, my journey, my legacy of a lot of people are. How come this is happening to you, not somebody of higher importance? Excuse me. You know what I mean? I didn't ask for this. It's kuleana in Hawaii means responsibilities. Something that I didn't ask for, but the universe thought I could handle. So as far as that goes, it's called. I'm 51, so this is my calling. This is my this is my legacy. You know what I mean? A lot of people can benefit from my experiences. You know what I mean? What I was doing for 3 years was teaching people of everything that I've been through. I've done it already. You know what I mean? I'm teaching, like hearing people that, oh yeah, I made contact. I'm like, cool. Yeah, pictures. What do they look like? What star system are they from? And they can't even give me that. So it's like shit. Trying to find somebody that's Akamai, which means smart in Hawaiian, that make
Yeah,
sure
like
that
you were
they
saying, like how I grew up, we were always outcast. We stayed to ourselves. We still do it today. But like that's where I call it coming out of the paranormal closet. I did that in 2012 because there was a friend of my daughter's that went missing. We all knew that dad had killed him, but we didn't want to believe that. And that's when I was like, I'm going to come out of the paranormal closet. And that's when I started my paranormal group. Because I didn't care what people thought anymore because somebody needed help. Like, if that was my child, I would want somebody to help me. So that's how I came out. And I don't know, I'm just very sad that that happened. And it took forever for the whole process to go forward. But I'm grateful for different things like that in our lives that kind of force us. Like, we're comfortable where we're at. We don't want to move, but whatever happens to our family or friends, like, forces us to kind of move forward.
there was an Amber Alert on my island in Waimanalo where this young little girl was just vanished, and everybody and their grandmother was looking for her. I started getting hits in my sleep of her from behind, of seeing her hair, what truck she got into, and I just couldn't see her face. You know what I mean? So always, sometimes it's always from me. I don't know why that happens, but always from behind. But I saw I saw the truck, I saw the girl, I saw what she was wearing, and then I find out. Then another dream I had that she was in some kind of a dog kennel, and it wasn't feeding her, but I still couldn't see her face, but I could see her. I could see her in anguish pain of being hungry, and they broke her leg of some sort because I remember she kept on saying that she's in pain. So after all is said and done, I got in touch with the FBI and I told them who I am. I introduced myself. I said, I'm just weird like that. I said, I know things. So I'm going to tell you, you guys need to grab your cadaver dogs and go where the marsh is. I think she's in a suitcase with rocks that are holding inside to make for weight. Sure enough, they found her in a suitcase. I just, and he asked me how you know this. I said, bro, I'm in Pro City, and you know what I mean. I happen to be a paranormal detective, if you will. And they were really, really, really tripped out that, you know what I mean. They've never seen me in Waimanalo, and you know what I mean. They looked on the camera. I was never around there. I showed them my picture, what I look like, and they said, "Well, bro, I had a friend in high school was like you. He didn't really get much into it because they're really not into that shit. But I actually helped. That was one of my
And it's so
first
great,
things
like
that
when we can, like it sucks because I would not wish that upon my worst enemy, but at the same time, if you can help, do help because there's not a lot of help out there. But we do have to go to our second music break just because I generally wouldn't take it, but I really got to hit the head really quick. So, we might do a couple songs and not the, huh?
We're gonna jam some guitar for 50 minutes when you're ready.
Awesome. All right, you guys. So we got Mr. Jeff Hilliard from Los Angeles, California with Good Life, Gravity from Krakow, Poland with My Last Goodbye, Dan Medina, who used to be a member of Gravity, going out on his own, kind of like Harry Styles with I Won't Let You Go. And then my favorite, Mr. Fred Johnson III with After Dark. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Excuse me! Excuse me! You got a cigarette? Hey, you help a guy out with some spare change. Anything will do, man. Oh, God bless you. Can I just get your change? I missed the bus. I got this 6 right down. I'm not an animal. Moving like a steak knife. This is the good life. Dancing in the moonlight. I wanna be inside of you. We got plenty to do. Tell the 1:45 to 2, and I know you wanna ride my cat.
you see, anything I do, you say you can save me. So why don't you try it? No matter what you tell me, tonight I'm gonna say my last goodbye. Oh. You say you can save me, so why don't you try? No matter what you tell me, tonight I'm gonna say my last goodbye. Oh. My last goodbye. Things come in said, streets of these highway to dead end. Listening to waves on windy days, standing by the wall, making sense of it all. So alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, all alone in the dark. You're alone in the dark. 'Cause I won't let you go. You're so far away, always with my soul. I won't let you go. Oh, you're so far away, always with me in my soul. Yeah, yeah. Looking for a reason, not a lead. Mystified, lives inside a world selling us all. Oh, she's alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, so alone in the dark. 'Cause I won't let you go. I won't let you go. You're so far away, always with me in my soul. Yeah, yeah. I won't let you go. series of pursuit. No matter what I say after dark, I gave her base because she had the range. I knew she's the one that never could go home again. Plastic lights by limo seats, I don't know why I can't control this urge to hurt again, yeah. Living at the dark, I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say, change in the sky, murder forever after. No matter what I say after dark. Really meant to argument and feel. Behind it, with just understanding. Concerning works published in romance. It doesn't matter what I say. It really doesn't. No matter what I say after dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Secret homicides arranged in a series of clues. No matter what I say, change in the sky, murder forever after. It doesn't matter what I say. Rooted fatal back in the head of conscience. No matter what I say after dark.
I just gotta say, it's pretty hard not to sing along with that song. But welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining. I myself and Mr. Brandon Vegas. He's been sharing his experiences and wealth of knowledge. And thanks so much for hanging out with us, Brandon, and educating our ignorant minds.
So, what questions do you have? What do you want to know that's been scratching the back of your head? I mean, no.
I don't know. I just enjoy hearing your stories, just like when I hear people tell their ghost stories. Like, I love hearing that. I love having that shared experience. So, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of questions, like as far as going into, oh man, I'm trying to think of the name of it. When you were a kid and you had to go through all that psychic testing as far as paraphenomenon and being able to move things and such, like that to me would be not only intriguing, but very, very scary because you're taken away from your families and you're not really allowed to talk to each other and you're put through all these difficult, tiring tests. Like, that to me is pretty interesting. But Jen was asking about that thing I was talking about where, do you think it was a demon? Do you think it was an alien? To me, like, after you explained it, like, all I know is it was a dark force. And I do believe it was alien. To me, it reminded me of, what is the anti of Spider-Man? Venom? It reminded me of Venom, the way its head was shaped and the way it had the sharp fangs. And even though, like, when I first saw it, I'm in a room with no windows. The lights are turned off because I'm with my husband who's in a band. We're taking it out before the gig tonight, and I'm sitting there trying to go to sleep. I have insomnia, so it's hard for me to go to sleep, and I see all of a sudden this black figure go in front of the door, and that's when I noticed this figure that's darker than the dark. And that was the second time I got sleep paralysis. The first time was when I was in MRP in the Marine Corps, and that was my first time. Second time was with this fella, and that was my last time too. But he came over to me and he was right in my face and he said, "I will have you." And I couldn't speak because I'm frozen. So telepathically, I'm telling him, "No, you will not." And he laughed and he said, "Yes, I will." And then he leaned down, he kissed me. I have to tell you, Brandon, when he kissed me, like it went like an electric shock up through my canines, into my brain, down through my body, and out through my toes. And as soon as it shot through my toes, I tried to kick my feet, and my feet were freed. Like the rest of me was still frozen, but my feet were kicking. And I'm trying to scream, I can't. And well, that's what we were talking about before, but like I said, I think it was a dark alien. There's bad aliens out there. There's good aliens out there. Either that or not a succubus, but what is the other one? Incubus. Yeah. So he kissed me. That shock went through me. It was like you could see the bolt of lightning. You could feel it going through your body. Then I was able to kick my feet. And I couldn't scream, but I think me kicking my feet woke up my husband. And he woke up and he actually saw this entity too. And he reached over and grabbed me and pulled me towards him. Thank God, because he broke me from whatever that was. And I got up the next day and I was scared to go to work because I kept looking in my rearview mirror thinking this thing was going to be in my back seat. This thing was going to follow me home. Thank God that was the one and only time I saw it.
So your husband saved you from knowing. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, like I was able to partially.
I've seen things that you described, but they have red eyes, so they look like venom. I'm gonna tell you a little something that I was told. So in Russia, they shot down a UFO, right? And there was 29 men total. 26 went in to go look, to retrieve the crash, the craft, and 2 of them stayed on the outskirts with sniper rifles. So as they were getting closer, the extraterrestrials all joined and combined with each other like venom. Funny how you would say that. What happened was they exploded and all the men were turned into limestone. And the 2 that were away from it, nothing happened. So they changed their molecules from the human anatomy into limestone. Kind of like, remember in the Bible where a lot turned around and turned into a pillar of stone? A salt or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I thought I do it patterns and I do it just, you know what I mean? Like similarities. Like, oh, I was like, when I first heard that, I was like, oh, some of the Bible shit's for, some of the Bible. So when I was visited, they told me a lot of stuff about the Bible. They said, we don't call it.
Sorry, we have an interruption. My son's here waving at you.
What's up, man?
Do you see his 6 fingers?
Oh, show me your fingers.
Can you show him your fingers?
That is so cool. Dude,
that's so cool.
High five, bro.
I can't even hear him. He said that's so cool. High five, brother.
I bet you he wasn't expecting that. That is so cool. Dude, that is evolution. That is evolution, my buddy.
I don't warm in your office. Yeah, that's because I have that little box heater. But yeah, he's amazing. He's a miracle child. Like I had my 2 girls, and I wasn't gonna have any more kids. And my husband kept begging me because he wanted to try for a son. I was like, hell no, I'm done. But yeah. Then here comes Floyd, and that's when, while I was pregnant with him, I had those UFO sightings. So I'm wondering, is he actually from the heavens?
Stop reading my mind. I was about to ask you the same fucking question. I think
no. I get into people's heads. It's not on purpose. But
I'm gonna tell you something. Here's my. I just saw what I saw, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna say. He's the next step of evolution. I'm gonna tell you something. Him, he's got part extraterrestrial in him. I'm sorry to say, but how? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Are these, since the only time I saw UFOs started in 2012, Same year he was born. I only saw them in the beginning when I was pregnant with him. And then ever since then, we keep getting visitations. Is it because he came from the heavens?
I do believe.
Makes me wonder.
Kalani means so. Hawaiian Kalani means heavens. Honua means earth, right? He is from earth, but also from Kalani, also from Kalani Okukua. Like he's also he's a star seed, not just a star seed, but he's evolution. So somehow down the line, they took eggs from you for the human female human hybrid program. This is what I'm seeing.
All I know is like I come from a very fertile bunch. My dad said all you had to do was look at your mom and she'd get pregnant. So yeah, if they did take seeds or eggs, like I don't even know. Even Jen in the chat room, she's like, just a couple more questions. Have you ever been in an alien craft? I don't ever remember being in one, but I'm pretty sure it could be possible. I don't know. You
can use your hand like normal. Interesting. Don't worry about it. Don't be shy, bro. I'm super cool. I got pit. Did your mom did you see my UFOs that I sent your mom? Did you see it? I can't hear you. I can't.
Yeah, we've seen many UFOs at our house, so yeah,
No, but
I'll definitely show him the ones you sent.
Did you show my pictures?
No, not yet. Oh, I'll try again.
Oh, bro.
His headphone's not working. I tried to get the earbud, but it's not.
I've seen a lot of UFOs.
Wait, where are you connecting the headphone to?
Through Bluetooth.
But I mean, like to the computer?
No, through here.
No, I mean,
through the computer. Yeah.
All right. I can just bring my headset.
Like he and his sister. So I was working overnight security for a while. That's how I got to pay for my surgery, and I'd call them every night and, tell them good night and talk about dreams and stuff like that. And they were telling me about an alien experience they had. And it was right back here behind my office. And there was a big old mothership. And, at first Lily was telling me the story. And she's like, these aliens came and they took us on the ship. And then Floyd jumped out. So I jumped out and we ran. And then somebody jumped on the alien's head. They argued about who tripped. And that's when I knew, like, when they started to argue about that, I'm like, that is not a dream. That's a shared experience. So that to me was pretty awesome. But that was a mothership.
I don't know what that is. I don't remember.
It's a big, like, spaceship. Like
I know what that is, but I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well, I've seen so many different spacecraft and a mothership.
Watch this. Look how thick the beam is. Look at that. So this is the thing this is the laser that I use to make contact. And I was just messing around. Like I literally was aiming at the Orion constellation, and next thing you know, I started seeing these coming down. Then they kind of went into a pattern like this. And it was just like maybe. So my building, I lived on the 41st floor, so 41, 42, 43, and then the roof. So we just had 5G towers put on our roof by helicopters. They dropped down and they did some work up there. So it's if you're there for too long, you can get radiation sickness. That's what I was told by security. But when they were hovering above exactly that, I would think that they was actually powering up their ships with the 5G towers. So when Central Intelligence called me up and they asked me, want to know, Vegas, if you've been around EBENs, EBENs, you'll know a few things. I'm like, shoots me, brother. What you want to know? He goes, what is the correlations between a UFO and a volcano? And I'm like, oh, they drop down really, really low into the volcano. They come like crystal blue, and they shine really, really bright. What they do is they're absorbing the energy from the magma itself of the volcano. And that's what powers up their grid. They use grid lines, the Aurora Borealis, and we have 3 different grid lines on our planet. One is magnetic, one is, I can't remember the other 2. But we have 3 different ones. And they use these things such as F5 tornadoes and You usually see where there's a F5 tornado, there's usually a UFO nearby. They use all that energy that is caused from the natural resources of our planet. A lot of people don't really know that. But someone showed me a picture of an F5 tornado with a UFO very close to it, thinking, oh, that theory just got busted. You know what I mean? Like, that's true. So your finger's really cool, bro. Like, I don't even know how to word by words right. You're special. Don't let anybody in school make any kind to you, make fun of you. You're unique and you were meant a special way to be this way. So other people can be jealous all they want. Just try not to words of advice. Let them talk all they want to talk. They'll never be you. Just know that. You're special, you're unique, or you wouldn't have what you have. That's a gift, bro. People don't get gifts like that. It's just unnatural to have something like that. So you are special. Don't let anybody tell you any difference, okay? So next time in person,
That's what I was saying. Like, they're telling me to cut
You-
it off. I'm like, that's not my decision. That's up to him.
Yeah.
When he becomes, a young adult or whatever, if he wants to do it, that's cool. But I don't think he will, because
They
there's no
gave you
issues.
that. They gave you
that.
that for a reason. Nothing in God's world is by mistake. It just doesn't happen that way. Like that is given to you. That's a God gift. They're telling you something. They're indirectly telling you that you are from the stars. You're from the heavens. You are from earthbound, yes, but you come from the heavens. Don't let anybody ever tell you anything different. You're special. You're loved. They know the people above and watch you while you're in your home, not to scare you, but to protect you. Just know that. I'm very special myself. I'm older, but I'm very special. I picked up on that as soon as I seen your finger. I was like, oh, that's so cool. A lot of people that are into this subject would see that and they would cry, like, oh, come I didn't get that. I didn't get that.
Well, to me, it
It's not in their
resonated
cards. It's
because
not
it
in their
was
cards.
like, so I didn't grow up here. I was born in Arkansas, lived in Washington State, moved here as an adolescent, and I remember when we were pulling into town, I was like, Uncle Bill, what's a Navajo? But it was Navajo. It was an Indian tribe.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I learned so much, had so many experiences, and I don't know. I know Floyd is so special in so many ways, and super proud of him. And I love his sideways smile.
So out of all your subjects that you do, what do you like? What is your favorite subject?
In school?
Yeah. What is your favorite subject?
What is your favorite subject?
What is the one thing that makes your eyes light up? Something that only you very much enjoy to do. Stare at the stars. Yeah.
Play video games.
In school. Art?
In school?
Science? History? Social studies?
Recess.
Recess.
Wrong.
My favorite was science.
It is what it is.
What is your favorite subject, dude? Come on. Can't be recess. That's not a subject. You don't get grades for that.
What's the one thing that you'd love to concentrate when they talk about everything else doesn't matter. Everything else doesn't matter. You rather play video games. What is the one thing that you like about school? And it can't be recess, bro. That's
Friends.
not
That's
happening.
the only thing I like about school.
No,
Okay,
not friends,
fine.
not recess. It's got to be a class.
It has to be a class of
Mm-hmm.
ELA because there's not much work in
English, literature, arts.
Oh my goodness.
Arts.
What is the one thing you like to do in school that you're very good at? Out of all your subjects, you got one subject that you have to pick.
Band.
Music.
Cool.
Music is universal.
Awesome.
She is the most epic drummer in the world. And he also in school plays trombone because he was curious, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, because Dad has a tram.
Dad had a trombone, so he picked that.
Like laying around on the floor, so I didn't have to pay the $50 fee.
Yeah.
Nice,
Then I
nice.
remembered I had drums and I could have just brought those.
But
That's
he's an
nice.
awesome drummer.
That's
Like, he's
nice.
good on the bass drum as far as like using the foot pedal, and he's good on all the handworks. I think he really likes it. Like,
Mom, stop it,
yeah,
Mom.
there's other guys in his family, like, which are his cousins. They like to say they're his uncles because his dad is like their brother, but really he's their uncle.
Ain't
So
that weird? Ain't that
they're
weird?
yeah, they're his cousins, but they try to claim uncleship. But yeah, they can't even play drums as good as him. And I like to, say it's because I played Pink Floyd on my stomach while I was pregnant with him. But it could also be because he's from the stars. I was an
So I
epic
play a lot-
musician
I play a
too.
lot-
Like,
I
they're
play a
like,
lot
how
of,
do you get the keys?
I play a lot of 80s stuff like Oriole Speedwagon, Sticks, just stuff that we really cheap. Your son don't know who you talking about. We had really good
Yes,
music in the 80s,
Pink
90s,
Floyd, like,
90s.
his name is Floyd.
Sweet.
Shit. He was named after Pink Floyd. His name is Floyd. But yeah, he's
That's
a really
cool,
good
that's cool.
musician. Just like the rest of his family. His grandfather didn't have to go to World War II, I believe, because he was a musician. He played at the Musicians Club. And that made him feel really guilty because his brothers went overseas, but he didn't have to. So that really, hurt for a while for him. Yeah, he comes from a long line of musicians.
I was supposed to have gone to Desert Storm, but I got shot in my back on my spine. It was during Desert Storm, so I got shot. I joined the Navy, and my recruiter came to see me. He said, "No can do. We cannot use you in the military." So things happen for a reason. I do believe that, even though that all sucked what happened, but
Well, yeah,
I didn't go
no
to the
matter
military.
how
I didn't go to the
good or
military
how
for that.
bad, everything happens for a reason.
There you go. I like that. Like, I'll give you, for example, the person I live with, say we're super close, but we're not like intimate thing. But her birthday's today, and I happen to, in 5 years, I haven't been sick, and I got sick over the weekend. I don't hang out with nobody or socialize with hardly anybody, so I don't know how I even got sick. But I was sick for 2 days. I was not having it. Like, couldn't sleep, toss and turn, can't breathe on one side of my nose. And I haven't been sick in 5 years. You know what I mean? It was like just out of nowhere. So today I feel a little bit, still kind of crappy. But so she bought me Pizza Hut and a 2-liter soda and brownies. But I'm like, why are you buying me something? It's your
That's
birthday.
sustenance.
I suppose, well, because she plays volleyball with her friends and hangs out with her friends. So, and her friends they're not like us. They're not into UFOs. So, I really don't even know how to talk to them about. They're all about smoking, drinking, and playing cards and playing volleyball. I don't do none of that. I smoke. I don't. They play volleyball, so they talk a lot about volleyball stuff, and I don't understand. So.
Yeah, one of my daughters, she was like volleyball champion. Every year she was in, like, they excelled, but yeah, I don't know. I was good at volleyball, but I don't know. Like you said, I never fit in as a team. I'm just grateful that my kids could.
Girls in Hawaii.
The
Girls in
world's a hard
Hawaii.
place.
They play in the sand. It's a little bit different from being on court, but they play in the sand volleyball, and it's harder. You get unreal muscled and toned from playing in the sand. I had a friend that was professional. She was from UH, and she was a player. Her name was Victoria Prince at the time. Oh, So yeah, I mean, it's just been a very interesting couple weeks. I've been getting to now back to text, now back to the story. So I've been trying to get in touch with the military and give them a proposal of certain things that what to expect when they come. And as an ambassador, a lot of these military people want to play because I ain't military. I kindly said, "Could you shove it up your ass?" I said, "I have a badge. That's
Like, I'm
that's
sorry,
required
sir.
for
You're a citizen. You're not a civilian. Or you're a
Oh, no,
civilian.
boy.
You're not a citizen.
When I tell them under NATO cage 922 G7 hold a top secret clearance for C5 special intelligence for close encounters, then I show them my badge. They're like, "Oh, Mr. Vegas. The tone changes." So I spoke with NORAD. NORAD is a missile kind of in Colorado. They got in touch with me, and somebody from Anchorage, Alaska, got in touch with me that speaks UFO language. There's this girl, and she said, technically I'm not supposed to be talking to you, but I've seen them. I know what they look like, and brought up the fact that she goes, I'm looking at your page. She's like real quiet. I'm looking at your page, and my goodness, how did you even people? She leaned in and she said, people would kill to have your position, bro. I'm telling you, the amount of UFOs that you have on your phone, I can tell from the building that you live in that's real. That's not Photoshop or anything even remotely close. So she told me, like, what was my? She told me, were you? Be honest, like, I know you're gonna act like a man and everything, but were you the slightest bit scared? I said, everybody has the fight or fight mode. You know what I mean? This thing was like in my grill. You know what I mean? Like, I could throw a fucking rock at it, and it just hovered right above me. I could feel the heat from it. You know what I mean? But I didn't. Instead of running, I just went like, "Shut up, my brother." I didn't know what else to do. What are you gonna run? How? Imagine if. See, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if they were gonna obliterate me, abduct me. I had no idea what their intentions was. You know what I mean? We joke around, we play around, but now we get back to like really, really the real deal. Like, this was a lot of my neighbors in my building were fucking freaked to talk to me. Seriously, no one wanted. I lost a lot of friends, people that were security guards that I would talk to every day that would see me because I would go downstairs and have my smoke break, smoke a joint, and just keep to myself. Some security guards are not looking. Like, oh, like take one, I like take one rip. But you got to take a walk because you smell like weed. Smoke a cigarette, blow it on your shirt, get the smell off of you, then go back to work. Kind of do like. Well, a lot of them stopped talking to me. Every time I would be around the security guards, evening time, there would be a UFO flying over our head. My friend's like, "Okay, here's a good one." So the military tried murdering me. I didn't want to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up regardless. They hired. First of all, they had like Blackhawks come really, really low in my parking lot and aim rifles at me. But I was always kind of around somebody, whether it be Chloe, my roommate, or one of my friends that I used to talk to in my building. And what happened was they got so close and freaked my friend out more than me. You know what I mean? I was used to them aiming shit and aiming lasers and stuff at me. They're just, hey, I felt like I wasn't even human. I felt like I was from a different planet. The way I was treated, not cool for somebody from. We're supposed to be Pono and Kokua from Hawaii. We're supposed to be the melting pot of the world. We're supposed to be very loving. Aloha means to love, take care. I love, like, how are you? But the way I was treated, and I'm from Hawaii, was very wrong. You know what I mean? I'm kind of disappointed.
It's supposed to be Mohana. Like, we're supposed to be family.
Ohana,
What the hell's going
like,
on?
you ever watch Lilo and Stitch? Ohana is everything. Even though you're not related to me, you're from Hawaii, so you brought our sister. You know what I mean? We're brothers and sisters.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Like, I lost my mom at a very young age from a drunk driver. My dad, got into coke and alcoholism really bad. Got tossed around in the family. Finally settled in a home, and like you, I went out on my own when I was 15 because I went back to my dad and I was like, "Fuck that! I'm not going to do that." So I went out on my own and finished school, worked, did everything I needed to survive, and it's just really hard. Like, we had to grow up before our time, and I don't know. It's kind of weird how we kind of go along the same path. It's weird.
Was embarrassed is going to high school and having the same clothes, and then your teacher turn around and goes, Vegas, when school is done, I want to talk to you. I'm not stupid. I already know what the fuck they was gonna ask me. So I'm like, I'm not doing this. Then the other teacher locks the door. I mean, so there's two teachers, right? They're like, we need to talk. Like, what's going on with you? You hardly up during class. And I told myself, well, what do you want to know? That I sleep under the bridge. My mom got rid of me, and I broke down. I said, no one seems to want me. So what am I gonna do? Go whine about it? I said, I already went through all my freaking nights of not having nobody to talk to or parent to tell you that they love you. I said, not something I thought I was gonna be going to school still having to deal with that. So they gave me like money. They took me clothes shopping. You know what I mean? They took me under their wing and let me stay with them. I lived with their my teacher's two golden retrievers. Not like I was, you know what I mean, like a freaking trash or anything, but because that was where they slept
Well, that's what I was
they
trying to tell my second eldest daughter. My first eldest is 24. My second is now 19. But I was telling her, like, communication is key. If you communicate with your counselors and your teachers and tell them, like, honestly, like, what's going on in your life, they will understand and they will work with you. Like, I graduated when I really shouldn't have, you know, because I worked hard and I worked at school and did everything that I needed to. As long as you're honest and you let them know what's going on in your life, they will understand, they will comprehend. Like, they're not there to torture and punish you. Like, they're there to help you. But, yeah.
I lived with them for 2 years. I went to school. The deal was I would graduate at 17 and get my diploma and join some type of military. Remember I told you I joined the military, then I got shot. They came to see me in the hospital when I got shot. They were really freaked out. They were like, we almost lost you. Do you like our kid? You know what I mean? We've known you since you were like 13. So yeah, and then I kept really close to my teacher. Like I would call her out of the clear blue sky, would talk stories. She got married, got more golden retrievers. Then as years gone by, I found out that she had and developed cancer and she died. Because I tried calling her school one time to get in touch with her, and they told me, "Oh, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but your teacher passed away of cancer." And I didn't know what to do because she was like kind of like I don't want to say a mom, but like mom figure. And she would spend she'd just come just to my building and pull in her car and talk story with me because she knew my mom didn't want me, kind of thing. They called the cops on my mom, but back then there was no child protective server. The cops really couldn't do anything. You got lickings. Dude, a lot of people whined. Like, I saw this guy on Facebook talk to his mom. Mom, so you guys didn't have the option of drinking from a sink? She goes, son, let me tell you something. Our parents would kick us out at just before the roosters would come up and crow. You would be outside playing hopscotch, jumping over people with your bike. You're in 5 people in a row, and you jump over people. We would hang on to what do you call that? The merry-go-round and fucking spin and hold on to it.
The jumping part was
There was nobody
leapfrog.
to tell us, oh, you have a boo-boo on your knee. No, man up. You get girls around you. You know, boys don't want to be like,
Buck up,
we're
buttercup.
tough. Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite scene. Fuck her up, buttercup.
Buck up, buttercup. Yeah, when we were kids, like our kids today, they're like, I'm so bored. I'm like, you got YouTube,
Oh
you
my
got the
God,
internet,
oh my
you got all this
God.
other stuff. Like when I was a kid, I was outside. I was playing with my Hot Wheel cars. I was making tracks. I was making caves, like all kinds of things. We also played war at the ponds. So I'd be at one side of the pond, you'd be at the other. We'd be making our mud balls. Sometimes you play dirty and put a rock in it. We played war. We did different things. Like we spent as much time outside as we could until they rang the bell for dinner or until the lights on the street went out, depending on where you lived.
If you wasn't in the house at 6:30, you didn't get to eat or you got beat. So take your pick. Like my mom
Or you go to bed without dinner, you know?
Oh, many nights. But my sister would always go grab me something. She goes, there's chocolate cake. Are you hungry? I'm like, Mom is like dead asleep. She's not gonna get up. I was like, oh, do you want some milk? So my younger sister she knew. Say she's my baby sister. When all of this was going on, she tried to have me locked up because she thought I was like having episodes. But when she saw my you see my podcast, my new podcast? Did you watch it?
I watched the one with you and that cool guy. I don't even know what show it was, but he seemed like really cool and like a really cool interviewer.
Jesse. His name is Jesse. His name is Jesse Missing Link. I've been watching him for a while before I even asked to go on the show, but he's seems to be gifted himself. I just picked up on that real quick before he said that.
Definitely
he said
seems
that
like empath
went-
sensitive.
Yes, that's what I picked up on. And I told him, and he's like 1 year younger than me. He's 50. He just turned 50.
He seemed so young. Like he looked like he was 24 or something. This guy, like
his wife is really pretty. They always
talk about good genes. Like
vacation.
everybody thinks I'm younger than I am, and I'm like, thank you. It's just good genes.
Yeah, I guess
I'm considered an antique now since my last freaking birthday.
Like I see guys in their 50s, full set of hair. I'm like, fuck you, dude. What? You know what I mean? Is this? I mean, I'm not gonna get vicious, but I'm like, fuck, man, how the fuck? My cousin, my cousin, my cousin, Lee, he's got a full set of hair still, and he's in his mid 60s. It's gray, but he's like, I'm like, son of a bitch. He's like, what happened to you, bro? I said, I don't know, man. I got the shit genes. I got the genes. Some people getting numbers. Some people are getting royal flushes. I definitely got. I missed the memo that time. But yeah, man, I got used to it.
So one question I did have. So you mentioned that you did have cancer at one point, and I'm wondering, does this have anything to do with your interaction with UFOs? Because I do have a family member on my husband's side, and he and his wife live in Utah. They had a UFO come over their house, and he actually opened the door and peeked out like up into the UFO. He did not allow her to come out. He ended up getting cancer, like brain cancer, lung cancer, etc.
Right.
And I'm wondering if that was this ship could have been dysfunctional or very radioactive, and he stuck his hat out, looked into it, ended up getting the very, very severe cancer. Luckily, she didn't, because he pushed her back from it.
So when Dr. Stephen Greer talks about all of these ET races are all malevolent, that's wrong. They're not. Or people who got abducted, sexually molested by them, and I hear a lot of people.
Well, that's like saying us humans, we're all good. No, we're not. That's a lie.
I like the way you actually said that, because I was just about to say exactly those words. So we're on the same wavelength. I'll tell you something right now. Dr. Stephen Greer is informing the President of the United States, and they just recently shot down a UFO over the Yucatan Peninsula. So what I was told by OSI, what is the name of the group? It's OGI or something. They're the crash retrieval people. They called me up and they asked me a few things. They said, like, we can tell when someone's crazy or someone's not. So just straight up, like, what do you give me one good reason why we should even believe you? And I told them, I said, in Antarctica, you guys, from California, you guys have an underground tunnel that goes from California to Antarctica without coming to the surface. It's like one of those things where you would put your money in a tube and the money goes. I mean, so it's kind of like a space lift. He looked at me. He's like, "How the fuck do you even know that?" And I told him, I said, "I told you, bro. I'm not your average Joe Schmo freaking civilian. I'm a little bit past that because of the knowledge." He goes, "What do you know of Antarctica? I know you guys found an old spaceport with a Stargate. I know Stargate came from the series Stargate. A lot of things you guys like to throw in our face like breadcrumbs. If you're not subject to being a movie buff, you wouldn't catch on to a lot of things. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T., extraterrestrials' favorite thing to eat is candy." Yeah, it's an ouch. I saw that, E.T., ouch. So chocolate and roses come from different planets. They were all a lot of the certain things that we have now are from different planets. Like Neptune, where people were fish people, like mermaids and different. So they think that octopus come from Neptune because of they have like so many brains. Each arm is like a brain. And it's bizarre. It's just something that shouldn't be in our ocean. And they're very smart too, on top of that. So it's like were they brought here? Just like a lot of things. Roses, chocolates. So certain extraterrestrials are in prison on planet Earth. I want to get into that. They're in containment unit. J Rod, remember J Rod? He was in a containment unit that before the containment unit was put over it, he would vanish and fucking start walking the halls, you know. Hey, what's up, man? And people would freak the fuck. What the fuck? So
Where the fuck is the exorcist? Okay, like I don't think I can continue with these cupcakes and cookies without a freaking exorcist.
And he couldn't Bing Bang Zalabine anymore. He was like, because it was this containment unit. He was cool and he worked with the humans. And so I then heard another story where this guy worked at a weather balloon station, Area 52. And the people that live with him are tall whites, and they're huge. They're huge. The leader was called the general. The girls wanted to be more like humans, so they would order clothes from the Sears catalog because they like the fashion of how women dress. They were very protective of their kids. They would use United States Air Force spare parts and build their own crafts and go from Zeta Reticuli back to Earth. And they would bring back consultants and they would bring back engineers and people would go back and then they would bring a new crew. And this was going on for some time. Like, then people think that when the government first said there's no such thing as AIDS, I wanted to like throw up in my mouth. I was like, dude, you think we're stupid or what? Especially, you know what I mean? Like the knowledge that I know of everything that I learned, you know what I mean? For a reason. It's to help the humans out. A lot of you guys don't have no clue the things that I have on my phone, such as schematics of how crop circles are made. Remember when you used to take Play-Doh and make your action figure and then you would make a copy of it? There you go. It wouldn't burn the grass, but it would match. There's two different ways. You would see them spinning around, like two, maybe three if the max. They'll spin around and they would use precision lasers and they would cut out. The last one was an alien's face with the binary zeros and ones, and it said, "Beware of the false prophets bearing gifts, for there will be a time where the government will plant a false flag known as Project Bluebeam." See, this is already was told to us by them. These things are the ones I told you called the Watchers. These people are not here to buy us ice cream. They're here to fuck some shit up. And I have to say it. They are here to punish the wicked and end all wars. There is no getting around this. There is some nefarious shit going on on our planet. And it's about time.
I have to tell you, we have a guest here, and I think he has some questions for us. Minnesota Grows, 420. What up, 420? Look, I got the sign back here. No. Oh, there it is.
Nice. Okay, nice. Okay,
welcome.
Hello?
Did you have a question? Or did you just want to join the conversation? Miss Minnesota. I love that accent, I have to say. It's one of my favorites.
Well, so a lot of these things that I've been seeing lately after the military, so 3 years has gone by. I had 3 years to get with the military to tell them what I had. Well, everything was going. I was weird. Somebody was like listening to our conversation. That's what I picked up.
Well, that's weird. I think like she's trying to get in, but she can't. Because like I told her, hey, you need to activate your camera and mic, or you can't come in. Which is not my stipulation. It's whatever's going on with StreamYard. And then she did it so I could add her, and then now she's got to redo it. Gotta tell her. Gotta redo. But go ahead with what you're saying.
Somebody I know on Facebook. I don't know if that's right up, but Not everybody's gonna see a UFO. I'm sorry.
No.
But
It's
It's
crazy
not
because,
in
like,
the
I've been
cards.
in my yard and I'm sitting there and I'm doing my tending. I'm tending my yard. I'm digging shit up. I'm planting things. And then my daughter's like, Mom, look, it's a UFO. And then I look over there and it's a Tic Tac. And then all of a sudden it's two. And I will send you these videos later, but seriously, we're out there gardening and all of a sudden they show up. And then one blinks out. So it wasn't the first one. The first one was brave and true. Second one going along, it's like, blink, blinked out. Where the fuck did that one go? Then all of a sudden this F-18 or whatever the fuck it was comes flying in. And here's this little pinkish, and I think it was pink looking because the sun was setting. So it was like how the sun was hitting whatever this was. It was just floating along. And this F-18 comes around. And it's like, oh no, and disappears.
Nice.
And the F-18 flies around, and then all of a sudden,
what I think
it blinks back in.
They're going from
Came back in.
3D to, so they're phasing in out of different, so they get away really quick. It's not the fact that they're moving that. I mean, yeah, they can move quick, but I think they're phasing through 3D to 5 density. That's how they get away real quick. Like, remember I told you that thing about we all dead and CERN messed us up and did something? So they can see into they can peek into our universe, but we can't really peek into them. CERN's kind of doing something like that now, but we should not play God. That's not in our cards for us to do. We're going to fuck some shit up. I'm telling you, man has done nothing but destroy this planet, whether it be taking on our minerals, our resources. We have bled this planet
We're
dry.
consumers. We are eating the world alive in one way or another. We're consumers.
That's a weird way of putting it, but okay.
Well, to me, it's true because we're consumers. Like, we're buying, HBO, Stars, whatever. We're buying the cable. We're buying the electricity. We're buying the water. We're buying the trash. We're renting. We're doing this. We're doing that. We're buying food. Food is getting marked up. We're still buying food because we can't live without it. We could be farming. We could be doing our own shit, but
you know how much it costs to take, say, me and you are going on a date. We're gonna get food to go eat. It costs, because of the pandemic and shit. It costs $60 fucking for me and you just to have 2 plate lunches. That's fucking retarded. That's not. My rent is $1,325 a month, but I have my own place. You know what I mean? Like I never really had a place before. So when you close your eyes and you go to sleep, you feel safe. So you have doors that close. I got my 2 cats. I got my music. I've got my UFOs. I got my people on Facebook. At 51, I'm content. You know what I mean? I don't want more than. I used to have a lot of shit, and then as I got older, I realized that the less shit that you have, you don't have to worry about if you ever have to move. You know what I mean? Like, you just got what you got. Oh, what happened? You okay?
Miss Minnesota, trying to get you in here. Where you at? I keep saying Miss, could be Mr. But we did get them in here for a second, but then all of a sudden, like, I don't know if it's like something they did or what. You have to allow your computer to access your camera and your, I think it says
They gotta go to Chrome. You have to go to Chrome.
Mic and cam.
Do it that way.
Yeah.
Let
it access your mic and cam. Yeah, isn't that weird? They're like, you have to allow us access. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I trust you, because you're a shady motherfucker.
So the military called me and told me they're going to take me to a secure location and I'll just disappear. I basically told them,
Oh.
you don't talk like that. It's unheard of.
They're trying to promise you a permanent vacation, as Aerosmith
is
spoken about.
They told me they was in Oklahoma, come grab me, cats, and kill me. I told them, I don't want to show you on camera, but you can just hear it. And they're not gonna make them pass my fucking front door.
I'd be like,
Fucking front door.
bring it, bitch. Let's go.
No,
Come on,
I have
bring it.
I have an you see that behind there? That's my MK18. That's a modified modified AR-15. I mean, I have my friends all gave me this. Military people I know from my building gave me straight up guns, ammunition, and everything, just in case you have a close encounters of the worst kind. They knew because a lot of them would talk story with me when I'll be downstairs. They would come up to me, Vegas, just out of curiosity. Before I consider you crazy, what are you doing? And I told him, I said, if I told you, you wouldn't believe. And he goes, try me. I said, sit down next to me, just hang out with me for like 25 minutes, half hour. You smoke? He goes, sure. I was okay, we'll smoke this doob and chill out. Next thing you know, they pop out from the sky, just behind the train track of rail. We have trains now on our island. So behind it, they would come from the sky and it would just come down. It would blink, and you would see them spinning. So the military guy's like, "Oh crap!" In a fucking shit. What, dude? Are you kidding me? He goes, "What is that?" He goes, "That's a UFO, bro. That's what you've been looking at all these months." I'm like, and you just figured this out? No. I said, I thought you guys knew. You guys military, huh? Aren't you guys not spying on me? He goes, nah, I would tell you, Vegas, if I was doing that. We're actually super cool. I've known you for like 3 months, but I would tell you that, you know, we're watching you. So just kind of, I would give you the 1411 so you would know. That's the difference between me and other people I work with. So I was like, oh, cool. So a lot of people saw these things. If you were security guards in my building, people walking their dogs, my brother, my girl at the time, they all seen it. I had one friend that she was the newest one. She was from Carabel, Florida, like out of nowhere, like somewhere in Florida you never even heard of. Their police station is a phone booth.
You want to talk about Florida? Guess what? After my mom got killed by a drunk driver, my dad took me and my little brother to Florida, and a lot of wishing shells on the beach. And I was like, hell yeah, I got a ton of wishing shells. But guess what? Saw a ton of homeless people, prostitutes, etc. My dad was like the number one in the coke game, so
that sucks. But you have to. But you grew up fast. You knew stuff that was wrong. Like man, this would peak that. That's what I'm gonna end up with. That's the kids when they see their parents doing shit like that. They're like, is that how I'm gonna end up? And it makes them want to change their identity. Like there's people saying that I have no gender, or I'm a different gender, and I feel more comfortable with that gender. I don't understand it, but I know in the Bible it talks about Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I have friends that are like that, but they don't like throw it in my face.
My earbud popped out, so I can't hear you any longer. I'm trying to find it, but I can't. So,
just look.
Sorry, I can't hear you. You can't. Well, I'm pretty sure you can hear me, but I think we need to do another show because there's so much stuff we didn't cover that we can. Do you agree? Yes. Okay. So let's plan on that for sure. So, once I go and take my bathroom break and come back, get a hold of you. We'll figure out when we're going to meet together again. Could be the 23rd of December, could be later, whatever you want to do. But I just want you to know, even though I can't hear you, that I really appreciate you. And I know you as a local or a familiar starseed. What we're doing, I think we're doing the best we can to help each other and get each other through this. And sharing the word is very important, and I'm so grateful for you. So, If there's any place that you would like to tell everyone how to find you or how to communicate with you, could you share that right now?
Sure.
And I will do some
So-
bad lip reading.
I have a webpage that's called True Believers, but if you just friend request me on Facebook, my name is Brandon Vegas. Like that says the background says Federations of Worlds in black, and it has almost like the Space Force symbol with stars in the middle. It's a circle with extraterrestrials that are wearing rainbow colored clothing. I call them the Indigo Children, and that's my page. Just friend request me. I won't be able to honor you guys into 4 days. I'm kind of a rebel on Facebook, so I've been kicked off. I don't know how many times I've been kicked out of my own account. But apparently, I said something. I sent something to somebody, and they didn't approve me of doing that. Like Facebook is my master. I have to listen to them. That's bullshit. I give you any advice is people who are gifted, a lot of things are going to start happening very soon. I mean, a lot of things that we as gifted starseeds will start to feel it within around us and whatnot. So just be aware of that. A lot of you going to start levitating and reading people's minds. It's kind of bad, but it's going to happen. So we are supposed to unite and help each other out in time. We're supposed to be one world order, not the military, not the government. We are supposed to unite and raise everybody's vibrations so we could move on to the next level. Without that, we're gonna be trapped. So if you guys are listening, starseeds unite. You know what I mean? Peace. Just text me or call me.
All right, so Peace Pop Microdot. I don't know, like, I feel like the conversations we had tonight, super epic, super awesome. I feel like there was a lot of connections, even though we were disconnected because my earbuds, like, I have small ear canals, so they fly out of my head, and yeah, now I'm lost, and I'll have to find not one, but two. But I'm so grateful that you were here tonight, Mr. Brandon Vegas, because you're amazing
Use
and
a flashlight
awesome.
and look on the ground.
What is that? I can't see it.
Use a flashlight and look on the ground. I'm gonna
I'll have
go.
to check it out
I'm gonna
later.
go.
But anywho's, thank you everyone for listening to us, or to us tonight beyond the universe. Had a great time. Can't wait to do it again tomorrow. Okay, so there was weeks ago before I got sober, and I met with my friend, and I was like, "Hello, friend. Let's do this." So I was supposed to go for a triad, basically a drag queen show. I'm super excited about it because I love drag queens, because I feel like they're so empowered and they do their makeup and they're just like fucking beautiful. So I'm super grateful for that. I hope I can go there to do it, but I think what I'm going to do is be like, "Hello, Julia. Would you actually do the show for me, and I will broadcast it through my stasis for you?" And perhaps she might say, "Yes. Yes, I will." Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
It's going to be the drag queen show. It's going to start at 4:30. 4:30 in the afternoon. And then I believe we'll go to about 7:30, blah, blah, blah. But perhaps it might end before the show does begin. And when the show begins, it'll be story time with me, TessaTNT. But I have to get off of here right now so I could talk to Julia Gilia. You know her from the Adam Sandler show. I need to talk to her and get to know, like, where I need to be, what I need to do. You use your cell phone. I'll use my cast to broadcast what you're doing, and we can all see it. Anywho's, nighty-night, love and light to all of those of you out there that are really here to listen and sit and hang out with us outcasts. If not, it's okay. If so, Welcome. I love you. Night night, love and light. I will talk to you later.